That's it off and away they go.
Extremely loose. He's managed to hold on and
He missed the complete that. He's crazy
Side by side, Freitas is on the grass on the infield before. He slides through. He tags Richard Eck.
12 rounds into the Patriot Fire Cup Series, and they are in the book. And as we completed segment 1 of the season, the action was so great that it actually ended in a tie between Nick Cohan and Tommy Ryan. But with Cohan picking up a win during segment 1, that win gave him the title on a tiebreaker. Segment 2 starts tonight. The intensity is high, and the racing is next on iRacing Live and the Global Sim Racing Channel. Welcome to the capital city of Virginia, a city that was incorporated as a town in 1742, Richmond, Virginia, where tonight it's round 13 of the Premier Racing League Patriot Fire Cup Series and the first race of segment 2 for the season. It's the Commonwealth 200 at Richmond International Raceway. I'm Chris Scala, alongside is once again Tanner Sharp as he fills in for Sean Ambrose, who'll be back on next week. Amjad Yatman is directing the show behind the scenes, and of course Dougie Beard on the cameras. Now Tanner, last week we were at Martinsville, which is that half-mile bull ring that produced some pretty good racing. Tonight it's a track known as the Action Track. It's a 3/4 mile Richmond International Raceway. Tell us about this track.
Yeah, definitely Richmond, one of my favorite short tracks on the iRacing surface. It is a 0.750 mile racetrack, 3/4 mile track with 14 degrees in the corners of the track with a long sweeping turn on the front stretch. And this track's such an awesome track because it is a race pattern racetrack, keeping in rhythm, and you'll find yourself in a top 5 or victory lane. So to get an idea how to get around the Richmond International Raceway, let's hop on board the GSRC Cup car here on the Global Sim Racing Channel.
Hello everyone and welcome to the Global Sim Racing Channel. I'm Brian Yazik and welcome to Richmond International Raceway. Fun little 3/4 mile short track in Richmond, Virginia. Without further ado, here's how we're going to get around this little joint. Richmond is tricky in the Cup car because the Cup car has a lot of high-end torque, so you're going to have to watch that wheel spin. For your hot lap, find this yellow line. This is going to be your best friend. Back into the gas, about 3/4, back onto the throttle. If you get onto it a little too early, you'll spin off the corner or get a little bit loose like I did right there. Back into 3 and 4, find the yellow line again. Roll it, back into the gas, heavy now. And there's your hot lap. Now, with Richmond, with the way that the tires burn off and the way that drivers just have totally different styles, you're going to see a whole lot of different things throughout the event. So, really going into turn 3, the bottom is pretty much the way. You want to brake right before that safer barrier. You can kind of roll up here a little bit and kind of diamond it, but either way, coming off the corner, wheel spin is going to be your biggest enemy throughout the event. Back down into 1 again. Turn 1 doesn't really have a great braking point to follow. There's no light there, there's no safer barrier start, so you really have to go by feel. I personally use the sound of the engine. When it gets to that certain sound, you know to roll out of it and get into the brakes. So, what you also might see is guys start to run that second groove as the tires and fuel start to burn off. So you'll see them enter really wide, going in here into 1, floating through the middle, straddling that seam right there, then cutting down to the bottom. Once again, watching that wheel spin off the corner. Back down into turn 3, braking at the safer barrier, floating it through the middle here, letting it ride that seam, back into the gas, about 3/4, back into full throttle now, finally. And then that will complete your lap around here. So Richmond gives these drivers a lot of avenues to play in, and it's sure to be a good race, especially in the hot and slick sun. The nighttime event here tends to be a little bit more stable, but with the way that these drivers go, it's sure to put on a great show for us here today on GSRC. I'm Brian Yazik. Enjoy the show.
That is one good way to get around the Richmond International Raceway, is to use up that bottom side of the racetrack without hitting the apron down there, because that thing can certainly spin out. Now, Chris is with a driver who won a segment 1 of the season championship on that tiebreaker. He is standing by with Nick Cohan.
Yes, Nick Cohan, the champion, and we should mention real quickly, we did have to limit Brian's gas to 5 laps, so he knew not to run the whole race out there on that lap guide. But Nick, welcome in. As last week we talked to you, you were stunned, but you know what? You did what you had to do to win a championship, and now tonight you start segment 2 and race number 2 with your new guys here at Loud Pedal. Talk about your experience so far and your goals for this season.
Yeah, just happy to come in to this new segment as a champion, and want to keep the momentum going to be the overall champion. But working hard with the guys here at Loud Pedal to just stay consistent. There's a lot of work to be done. It's only May, so we got a lot of racing to do yet. So just got to keep the consistency going. Being there's no chase, it feels like the old Winston Cup. So it makes it a lot of fun with these little segment championships and all that, but the main goal is still the overall championship, so we're just going to keep digging here.
Now, I heard rumors with you winning the championship, you had to take the whole entire team out to Virginia's famous Clarence Steakhouse. Is there any truth to that rumor?
No, that's BS.
Fair enough. For Richmond tonight, you get the daytime weather. The setup tonight got some warm track temp of 98 degrees, 78 outside. What are you feeling in the car?
Hot, slick. It's going to be treacherous is probably the key word for tonight. It's really, really loose on the throttle. You see it here in practice. Everybody's wiggling off of 4 and 2. Those are going to be the real tricky spots. I mean, you're even crossing the finish line and you're still loose. It's going to be I expect a long green run in the beginning, because normally when the car's handling pretty bad, we seem to be pretty patient in the beginning, expecting some yellows in the middle or towards the end that'll kind of clog us up for a while. It's gonna be a game of survival pretty much the whole night. So just gonna try and keep all the fenders on it and be there at the end.
And one last question before we let you go here. I noticed a big black strip there on that bottom line. Any chance we see the groove move up with that strip there?
That's interesting you say that, because in the beginning of practice it was, obviously no rubber down there, and it was really, really slick. I mean, it was worse than it is right now. And the outside seems to be coming in a little bit, especially when you're side by side with another car. It's actually going to be really, really hard to pass tonight. When you have that car on the outside and you're that car on the bottom, you can't get on the throttle as quick, and it being loose as it is in the first place, it's going to be hard to get back on the gas, and the outside's going to have that momentum off the corner. So you're going to see a lot of close battles tonight. So as long as you see Brian spinning out right there, you'll see a lot of that tonight if everybody's not holding on.
Yeah, go hack on Yads, of course. But nice job on segment 1, and we'll talk to you tonight.
All right, thanks, Chris.
All right, buddy. Nick Cohan joining us this evening, the segment 1 champion for the Patriot Fire Cup Series, as we watch Yazik wreck. That's kind of funny, actually. Tanner, tonight 200 laps around this 3/4 mile track. The halfway point going to be lap 100, in which those bonus points will be awarded. And let's take a look at the points as we enter tonight's race. Now, we're going to show you last week's, or segment 1's points is pretty much what we got here in front of you.
Yeah, definitely. The last week's segment 1 points, you got to see up there, as we discussed about Nick Cohan and Tommy Ryan on that tiebreaker, with Nick Cohan getting that tiebreaker up there, 1-2. Brian Yazik not too far behind in that top 3 spot in 3rd. Tyler Dalton, who looks awfully strong tonight here at Richmond, sat in 4th. Bob Bryant in 5th with a good amount of wins on his record. Ricky Harden in 6th, James Krahula 7th, Mr. Excitement himself, Drew Carroll, Tim Johnston in 9th. Rounding out that top 10, as you see there, Thomas George, 314, 72 points back.
Yeah, pretty impressive for Bob Bryant there, that missed the last 2 or 3 races and still end up top 5 when it was all over within the points. Now, this is going to get interesting. This segment, I was looking at the schedule, Tanner, for this coming up 12 races. We have 4 road courses, so a third of the schedule is road courses. From Watkins Glen to finish out the segment, you have Monza, you have Suzuka, see how much I road course, and you got Motegi on there, not to mention Talladega, a race at Charlotte, an all-star race on the oval at Monza, and so much more.
Yeah, definitely. It's a good combination of mixtures. You got a short track, super speedway, a mile and a half, and a good mix of road courses in there. And a lot of people don't like road courses, but hey, that's where the drivers usually get their skills from, is from driving road courses here on the iRacing Simulator.
Let's talk about the keys tonight, as we have about 3 minutes or so left. Josh Grupa just taking the pole right now. We'll see if he can hold on to get that American Pool Supply, or MP3 Design Pole Award, I should say, with the 20.7. He's carrying that momentum on from last week in Martinsville. Keys for tonight, hooking the bottom. I talked to Cohan, and you heard him talk about how he sees the high line sort of coming in because how black the bottom groove is starting to look. Now, could we see that tonight, or is hooking the bottom the key?
Usually here at Richmond, and I say usually, you can quote that if you'd like, usually the bottom is the way to go at Richmond. But if you get enough guys to get up there to run that high side to get that higher groove going, you can get a nice good launch on exit of the corner. Now that whole loose on entry ordeal, it's a 98 track temperature, and that is hot and slick for these Gen 6 Cup cars with such high horsepower. So these guys are going to be loose on exit all race long. Watch for that, especially off of turn number 2.
Now, one thing we should mention, Richmond's very notorious for this, at least when I drive the car, and I'm not the best driver in the world, but one thing I've learned with this setup is you got to be careful entering the corner, because if you drive it too deep, that back end will spin on you.
It definitely will, and sometimes you can adjust the brake bias to help a little bit, but it's besides the point. It will still step out on you if you're not entering the corner correctly, too. If you enter it awkwardly, that back end's just going to try to kick out on you in these such hot conditions, so watch out for that. And Chris, I am so glad we do not have brake failure on iRacing, quote, yet.
Yet is being the key word on this, and I'm actually going to take a look here before I bring up, you know what, he's not even here. My last one was going to be Michael Krolbach starting the new season off, but he's not even here tonight, so we'll skip that last key for this evening. Now, I didn't see Mr. Ambrose today on the PRL Facebook page, so I don't know if he had a woodshed pick or not today, so Sean, we miss you, buddy. We'll get you back next week, so we're going to let you make the pick, Tanner. Who are you picking?
Well, I could have sworn I'd seen a video on there, but I didn't watch it.
Maybe I missed it.
Yeah, I don't think it was exactly from the woodshed, though. But with all that being said, kind of looking at the top 5 guys in practice and qualifying, I don't want to go with the fast driver because usually sometimes that messes it all up. But if there's a driver that I do look forward, that should have a very consistent night and possibly at a good win, I'm going to go on a limb. I'm going to go with Brian Yazik. 6th fastest in practice, top 5 in qualifying. It shows he's got a fast car. Let's just hope he can eventually get the race lead.
Yeah, Yazik going to be a guy to watch here this evening, so I think he'll be good in that 55 car. Skrupa is carrying that Virginia momentum from his win at Martinsville. He is somebody you could watch tonight. It looks like he is going to be the pole sitter here in about 20 seconds officially, but he should be one to watch. Jeff Ward, haven't seen his name in a couple weeks. He's here tonight. Tommy Ryan looking good. Tyler Dalton, I think that is the guy to watch this season. This 12-race segment, that 09 car, he has gotten faster and faster each week. Krahula up there in the top 10 also. So a lot of good guys that can contend for this thing when it is all over. And I think it is safe to say, let's give him the crown once again. Mr. Josh Grupa, 2 straight weeks. He seems to be running the Virginia show right now. And at Patriot Fire number 25, he is going to win the NP3 Design Pole Award. And we watch his lap as he comes off turn 4, brings it up there against the wall. And you almost got to straight line it into turn 1 there and get it right down that yellow.
You definitely do. Get that down yellow without touching it, wash it out to the outside wall without hitting it. And then you go back down to turn number 3, get into a little rhythm down here, get off the gas, let the car coast, get back into the gas nice and easy so it doesn't spin out, and wash it out to the race wall without hitting the wall, by the way. And that would be a fast lap around the Richmond International Raceway. So the key is keep your car under control at all times.
20.771 was that lap time. Now, one thing it's going to play a factor tonight, Tanner, is when you get these worn out tires, if we get a run that's 40, 50 laps into a run, the one thing Nick mentioned, you see this in the actual cup racing too on TV, is you get these guys coming off turn 4, they're almost just still edging into the throttle as they cross the start-finish line because that car will snap around.
The tires are hot. The track is hot. It definitely makes it for slick conditions out there, Chris. So that's why these guys, if I was a driver out there, I'd be afraid to get in the throttle, but you have no choice but to get into the throttle. There's times I've seen drivers come off of turn 4, and once they're completely off turn 4, they're in the gas. It's happened before, but in this daytime setting in these high horsepowered cars, it's definitely going to be slick all race long. So these drivers are just going to be on the edge here tonight.
Well, it's going to be some fun racing when it is all over with here. As the cars are off the track, they're going through their meeting, I believe, here for the team. But talk about the racing tonight. What can we expect? Because this is going to be some slick racing. We're going to see side-by-side racing. How tough is the passing going to be? You think being out front is going to be the key?
Passing, track position is going to be definitely key here at Richmond. From my experience here on iRacing, I've led so many laps here, won a lot of races in any of the 3 series of the NASCAR division on iRacing at this racetrack. Track position is always going to be key. And with that being said, sometimes in these conditions, you never want to go for 2 tires on a pit stop. You always want to change 4 tires. You want to try to get a good run on the exit of the corner and not on the entry. If you can get it on the entry, you better dive bomb that corner without washing up the racetrack to get past somebody. But you really want to try to beat somebody on exit of the corner so you can get side by side with them and entering the next corner.
It's going to be very key tonight. I just noticed on the screen there, if you saw the 11 of Jonathan Cadell paying honor to the singer that passed away. Actually, I think it was last night is when officially happened, but Chris Cornell from Audio Slave, I believe. I'm losing the name off the top of my head here, but unfortunately passing away. The whole situation or whatever, I know it's under investigation, so I'm not going to say too much there, but that's a pretty cool little tribute scheme that he's running there. But right now, we're going to send you track sign for the playing of our national anthem. Just about 40 seconds away or so from gridding as we get ready for the first race tonight for segment 2, the summer segment of the Premier Racing League's Patriot Fire Cup Series. And of course, this is race number 13 on the actual schedule. As we've run 12 before, we'll run another 12 here, and then, of course, a final 12 to get us to the end of the season. If you want to chat with us this evening, you can do so on our YouTube chat. Just if you're joining us on the Global Sim Racing Channel YouTube page, you can chat with us there. If you're watching us on iRacing Live, we appreciate you joining us there. You're in line for a pretty good race here from a pretty good group of people. Looks like we got some 32 cars from my last check that are going to be starting as we wrap up the grid and get you the starting lineup for tonight's Commonwealth 200 from the Richmond International Raceway on the pole. Second straight week. The Dominator from Martinsville last week, Josh Skrupa. He'll start alongside Jeff Ward.
And sitting 3rd and 4th place is Jonathan Shipman in the 23 car, and Tommy Ryan, who was a part of that tiebreaker there last week.
Yeah, he's got a little revenge on his mind, I'm thinking, tonight. Brian Yazik there in the 55. He'll start alongside Tyler Dalton. He's one to watch.
Troy Haight is rolling off in 7th place, and James Krahula is the one to watch for a nice solid top 10, maybe even a top 5 to a win finish, starting 8th tonight.
Ricky Harton, he'll start inside of row number 5 alongside Sergeant Pepper himself, Paul Pepper.
Brett Puncari will roll off 11th, and Thomas George in 12th.
Adam Jersky, Beef Jersky that is, starting 13th. Inside of him is Rhett McBride.
Mr. Excitement himself, Drew Carroll, who had a great run at Martinsville last week. He'll roll off in 15th. He'll be side by side with Woodrow Mahan.
Jonathan Goodell, he'll start alongside Norman Peltier to third there in row number 9.
Norm Pelletier will start out 18th, and Jonathan Lawrence in 19th.
And then you got 20th being Devin Cannon there inside of row number 11. Adam Blattel, the hashtag himself, he'll start there in 21st alongside him, Joshua King.
Justin Roden roll off 23rd, and the last driver to take a qualifying time here tonight is Tim Johnson rolling off 24th.
Yeah, the rest of these guys you mentioned did not qualify, including your champion. That's Nick Cohan. He'll start 25th alongside Travis McQuiston.
Rick Thompson rolls off 27th. Matt Murphy, 28th.
Rich Jetty starting alongside Randy Oakham there, the Virginia driver.
Calvin Filarski in 31st, outside the top 30, and John Wilco, 32nd.
And the final two starters, Snoop Doggy Don Runkle Jr. He'll start 33rd alongside the Dairy Queen man, the Carolina driver, Stephen Herring, in the 98 cars. So there you go, 34 cars. Going to start this race as we get ready for 200 laps, and apparently Don Runkle Jr. Forgot to hit the grid button, and he'll start on pit road. That's not usually a good start on a short track. Usually you're a lap down pretty quick after that.
Yeah, but on a hot and slick track like this of Richmond, man, you can probably expect some cautions probably, so it might not be too bad of a part on his part.
They had some penalties also from the race at Martinsville. I see Thomas George already taking his car behind the wall. Not sure if he's having some issues with the screen or whatever, but he's behind the wall. He's not even on the track now. But that ought to be interesting. But Jonathan Goodell, one of the cars that are getting an EOL penalty, is we'll get one to go this time by. The Ford Mustang pace car bringing the field around turn 1 and 2. Again, 200 laps. 100 laps will make the halfway mark, which is when the Premier Racing League gives away the bonus points, kind of like the stages in NASCAR, except they do it once and there's no caution. They just go straight on through when lap 100 hits, but it should be an interesting strategy as you can go probably about 75 to 100 laps on a tank of fuel, but I'm pretty sure we can eliminate that factor and go with tires.
Yeah, tires is going to be the biggest thing here at Richmond as pace car is going to dart off pit road. Here we go. Josh Skrupa is going to be on point here, Chris, and green. We are racing at Richmond.
Yes, sir. Race 13, segment 2 has begun, and Skrupa with a pretty big jump. He's going to bring Shipman with him to turn number 1. Jeff Ward going to fall into the bottom line as he brings his teammate there, Yazik, with him as Tommy Ryan stuck up on that outside.
Yazik's going to have to get behind, Tommy Ryan's going to have to get behind Yazik there to fall in line, as he will. And right now it's just trying to feel your car out. How's it going to be for the first couple laps? And just be patient out there. That's what this early stage of the race is all going to be about right now.
First side-by-side battles back here for the 11th position. Make that 12th. Brett Pancari under attack from Woodrow Mahan. Brett's going to let Woodrow take that spot away, it looks like. As Mahan moves up a spot, Adam Jersky there, right there behind him. So let's see who's going to work on these tires and try to save them.
Yeah,
so far, so good.
56 actually made that high line work on the, who's that back there? That's number 83. He actually made the high line work for a minute there as he settles in line.
Yeah, it's Devin Cannon there in the 83. He started 20th, 30 up to the 17th position, so he's looking to gain some spots up in that Larson line, as I like to call it. Is looking at Paul Pepper up here for the 8th position. He's going to jump on James Krahula here. The 29 going to bounce underneath the 4, and you can move him up a spot. So Sergeant Pepper, I think it's been a week or so since he's been around, but he's here tonight.
Good start to the race for Sergeant Pepper, up towards the front, getting past James Krahula. That was for the 7th position on the racetrack.
Should mention Don Runkle is on track, and he did lose 1 lap from sitting on pit road. So right now, if he were to get a quick caution here, he could get a quick visit from Brutus and get back on the lead lap.
Ooh, we might got a battle for the, oh my gosh. Up towards the front here for the lead. The 23 car snapped loose off of turn number 2, wiggled it big time, and what a save by Jonathan Shipman.
Oh, Norman Peltier spun turn 2. The gum out car is facing the wrong way right now, turn 2. Looks like no damage on the 56, so it might have just been a solo spin here. Maybe had a little help. Let's see. I think we can go ahead and put this one under the solo. Oh, maybe a little contact with that outside car.
No, I think it was a solo spin, honestly.
Caution number 1 is out. Let's see if we get leaders to pit road here. I would not be surprised. They'll have to pretty much stop the win on the pace car. Let's see what all transpires here.
Nope, Skrupa stays out.
Fake by Shipman. Everybody appears to be staying out, so with that, we'll go ahead and take a look at our lucky dog. So, hey, we get to put him out for the first time tonight. Our Coastal Safety Auditor's Lucky Dog Award goes to Don Runkle Jr., Steel Horse Racing member. Coastal Safety Auditors, your one-stop shop for fire and life safety equipment and services. Coastal Safety Auditors. So it looks like first car on pit road is 15th place Adam Jersky. He is going to pit here. Tim Johnson, Travis McQuiston, Nick Cohan. So pretty much everybody in the back is on pit road here. Do you like this strategy?
I mean, since the front runner stayed out, yes, because, I mean, you really ain't got much to lose if you're just riding the back, mid to back right now. So these guys are going to come down and get some 4 fresh tires, and they weren't really gaining a lot of positions either there, Chris. So it was a good idea to come down pit road and get some 4 fresh tires on there and come on out and try her again.
Have not seen Thomas George return yet, so I don't know if he is out for the night or whatever, but in the end, 33 cars started the race. And if he does return, obviously he would be already 8 laps down. So not sure if we're going to see the 24 make an appearance. Tough break for him, though.
Yeah, there's actually a driver who did stay out, but he decided to come on in down pit road. It's actually the number 27 machine of Justin Roden. So he's down pit road getting 4 fresh tires as well.
Yeah, Roden was running back toward, I think he was the last car in the lead lap, actually, when that caution came out. So I think you noticed that like everybody behind him has tires. So he's like, I'll just go ahead and pit now and get these tires. But it should be interesting to see what kind of track position these guys gain, as I'm seeing Jersky being in the 20th position when we go back to racing. So 20th on back, we'll have 40 choose.
Yes, they will. So this is going to be an interesting call to see how much of a 5-lap tire difference is really going to make.
Yeah, unfortunately, I didn't see enough on the telemetry to be able to tell you how much change there'll be, but we'll have to see when we get the green flag here. But Josh Group has led all 8 laps. Last week, he led over 200 laps at Martinsville. He has been the guy dominating Virginia.
He definitely has been, and he's still out front. Anybody is up there for a challenge. I think that 23 car can challenge him. It's just a matter of getting off the corner just as well as what Josh Scroop has been doing, because Jonathan Shipman was all over that back bumper until he snapped really loose off the corner of number 2.
Now, for Scrooper's sake, he probably hopes that we go racing in South Boston, VIR, and all that good stuff here in Virginia before it's all over with, so he can get some more laps led.
VIR, probably, yeah.
Then again, I don't know if we can see a cup car on VIR. We'll have to ask the road guy that. Pace car lights are off, so we'll go green this time by. Scroop are going to take the inside line, which you would think is probably the smartest idea. Now, tire spin could be an issue here on the restart because you're on a banked curve pretty much. The front straightaway is a long sweeping corner that's banked a little bit. So you got to punch the gas with 9-lap tires. Ought to be pretty interesting here.
Yeah, definitely. So you kind of want to try to ease into the throttle a little bit. There's sometimes drivers will start in 3rd gear, so they're not spinning the tires as bad as what 2nd gear would be. But we'll find out right here on this restart. It's going to be a little bit of a chaotic restart. It looked like everybody's getting sorted out on the first going. So Scroopa's going to come off turn 4 and wind them out.
He can jump on the gas anytime he wants. He does so. I don't see really anybody spinning the tires yet, as Shipman gets a pretty good jump there on the high side with Scroopa. I think he's going to need to get to the bottom. Though. Here's Jeff Ward's going to fill it.
Oh, 3 wide in the back.
That's not a good idea. Oh, Rhett McBride got the wall.
Oh, Rhett McBride. Yeah, he's in trouble. He got tagged there. Number 2, Rhett McBride there. He got tagged just a little bit, got a little loosey-goosey, held it really well.
Hey, crossing over Pancari, going underneath him now. Pancari going to run that high groove. He'll let the 2 go by. As now there's Adam Blattel going to try to go around him there in the 9 car. Meanwhile, up ahead here, the 82, Troy Haight going inside of Tyler Dalton. Going to bring Krahula with him. Haight's another guy we haven't seen in a few weeks.
Yeah, good showing. Oh, yeah, Krahula on the bottom there. He gets a good position. It is pretty much a Hornet's nest. Adam Latta up the racetrack in trouble. Down in 1 in turns 1 and 2.
And Blattel up the track there, and these cars are scattering back there in the back straightaway. Pancari way up the track. Here comes Devin Cannon as we see the replay here.
Really high in that gray area up there.
I wonder if the back end came around on him a little bit there.
It can on entry, like you were talking about the top of the show there, Chris.
Either way, see Devin Cannon go past Pancari back here for position. Just going to keep an eye on those fresh tires right now. Adam Jersky already up to the 16th position on those new tires.
Boy, oh boy, I tell you what, Drew Carroll's in a mess back here. He's going 3 wide. He's spraying some paint back here a little bit. but he's been going, he's trying to get some positions up here. That's Drew Carroll back here going for another position. 3 wide, entering turn number 3.
Cooler heads prevail there. Oh, they're 3
yeah.
wide up ahead here. Jersey fitted 3 wide.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I think that 66 machine was in the wall. That was Jonathan Lawrence. 3 wide again.
And I'm sure AJ Styles and Jeff Hardy not happy with that wall smack. I think that was Jeff Hardy on the other side of the car.
Yeah, they're all over each other back here. And wow, Drew Carroll, 71 machine of Adam Jersey, slammed the door on Drew Carroll entering turn number 3.
The car on the move so far in this race, I got to give him a shout out. Devin Cannon started 20th, is up to the 13th spot already in the 83 car.
Yeah, I don't know if did he pit last caution, because I don't.
He
think
did not.
He did not.
No,
so okay.
Yeah, the first guy on new tires right now is Adam Jersey in the 15th position. He's got Drew Carroll right there behind him, and Travis McQuiston all have new
trouble,
tires.
front stretch, trouble. Norton Pelletier once again on the front stretch here, going through the grass area.
He's going to be okay.
Yeah, I was watching this little pack back here. It has not been very friendly back here. The 42 got hit from the 35. Norton Pelletier actually checked up, and when he checked up and got on the brakes, it knocked him out.
Oof. That gives him some damage, unfortunately, for that number 56 car, and I believe he's on pit road right now. So unfortunate pit stop there for the 56 to come out car on pit road. Is, tell you what, some fantastic racing around here.
Yeah, it's a lot of fantastic racing, and the Hornet's Nest is actually in the back of the pack. Drivers fighting for position early on, going about 3 wide on these fellas back here. It's just up towards the front. Everybody's single file, just minding their P's and Q's, being really patient, and that's what you got to be here at a track like this in hot conditions.
The lead pretty much all separated right now by about a half second. Scruple over Shipman. You got Janzik there in third. He's about a second back, and then you get back to some of the fight that's going on here. Tommy Ryan is in fourth, and then Jeff Ward. He's got Paul Pepper, Troy Haight there with him, and then you got another pack of about 6 cars that's led by Troy Haight, I should say, back with Grula, Dalton, Ricky Harden, and these guys here. This is a pretty good fight.
Yeah, Grahuli really got up to that back bumper there of Troy Haight. Didn't produce anything just yet. He gets a nice run on him in the middle of the corner of the racetrack, but by the time he gets back into the gas, there's a little gap between the 2 drivers.
Back here, let's look at this fight in between the newer tires. We mentioned Jersey. He has gone by Devin Cannon. Now Travis McQuiston, the 93, going to go by Cannon. So these are the newer tires starting to kind of work their way through the field. Drew Carroll is actually ahead of this in the 13th position, is the first guy on new tires.
Yeah, he definitely is, and he's been on the move since the drop of that green flag on that last restart, up there in the 13th spot right now. So the tires, they do play dividends, but there's just a lot of cars to pass in the early stages right as of right now.
Everybody out on the track right now other than Thomas George, who apparently didn't start the race. Not sure what happened to him, but tough situation for him. But everybody else still on the track and running as the leaders are coming up on Pelletier here, as he's already he's actually still in the lead lap. I mistakenly said he pitted earlier. He actually did not. He stayed out.
Yeah, he stayed out, and he's going to go a lap down here. Another lap down, I should say. I don't know. Is he a lap down already?
No, he's on the lead lap still.
He's on the lead lap, tail end of the lead lap, so he will be a lap down. So hopefully he can get the lucky dog if there's another caution soon, or if caution does come out, he would be at the tail end of the lead lap, and no lucky dog would be needed. But although everybody's pretty much single file, there is a Hornet's Nest back there with the number 28 car, Calvin Flarsky.
I'm going to take you a little farther up in the pack, actually, as Tim Johnson just dove underneath Travis McQuiston here. This is for 16th position. Johnson made the move off of turn 4, got to the inside of the 93, and here comes Cadell. But move him up a spot as we continue to watch these guys on the fresher tires.
Cadell's been pretty much on the move too here, Chris. You remember he had that EOL at the start of the race. Oh, caution's out.
Looking for it. It's Yoakum. Looks like over in turn 1 and 2 or 3 and 4. I'm trying to see where he is here. That'd be the turn 1 and 2 area.
Oh yeah, he hit the wall and down turn, coming off turn 2, and him and Bladdle made contact, and that's what brought the caution entering down turn number 3.
That second caution of the afternoon here, as we ride on the back bumper here, as he has Blattel there behind him. Adam putting that pressure on with that Camry, and looks like he just gets a little tight there, and there's the contact, and good job by everybody else not to hit him.
Pit road should be open this time by for the race leaders, and it does look like every single driver is going to come down pit road, and I assume they will. That was a pretty good green flag stint, and tires got to be really hot by now. Here they come.
Yeah, leaders are all coming here. This should be interesting. I think you're going to see forward and fuel from everybody here. But all 33 cars on the lead lap, so Brutus will have to take a break here for a second. You have to watch out for speeding on pit road, cars making contact with each other, people sliding through their pit stalls. It's a long and windy pit road, and this is one of those tracks where that first pit stall is money usually.
Oh, yeah, because look where the cone is compared to the first pit stall.
Just
right next to each other. Just got to roll across. You got to go about 5 miles an hour near across. Paul Pepper is done. Sergeant Paul Pepper is done. And Skrupa, number 1 pit
Easily
stall.
wins the race off pit road,
Yep.
yeah.
Brian Yazik, second, I believe. Nope, third.
I think Shipman got him barely. The Shipman started third, so he had just an easy little sprint off pit road, but you see the battle there of what's all going on. We're going to step away for a quick second here as we will keep you side by side on the Global Sim Racing channel here from Richmond. Back in Richmond as the pace car lights are off, as you were watching on side by side, you see Norman Peltier stay out and lead a lap, and he is pitted now, and that cycles everything back to Josh Skrupa, who's been the leader pretty much from the start. Jonathan Shipman second, Brian Yazik, Tommy Ryan, Jeff Ward going to be your top 5 as pace car brings them off turn 4. Skrupa with a jump, Shipman going to go right to the bottom and try to protect it as they're thinking 3 wide here.
Yeah, Yazik looked like thought better of it, though. He backed off entering turn number 1. Oh, Rhett McBride in trouble. Oh, man, he got knocked out. He got punted out of the way or something because he went high above the racetrack.
Rhett McBride not having a good night right now in turn 1 and 2. As you're seeing some good double file racing. Meanwhile, for fourth, I should say, Jeff Ward underneath Tommy Ryan.
Hey, he's going to get that spot from Tommy Ryan. Tommy Ryan's been really silent so far this evening. James Krahula under attack from Sergeant Paul Pepper.
And Pepper and his Only Hearts Club band to the inside. Going to bring... Oh, trouble.
Caution's out. I think it's in the back of the pack.
It's Peltier. Peltier's not having a good night.
Yeah, that's 3. What? We had 3 cautions, and they've all involved Norm Pelletier.
Peltier was solo spun by himself, not hit anything. Caution 2, he spun to the inside, or he didn't get the caution for the second one. He hit the inside wall. This time, he's a smoking.
That Rick Thompson hit the wall, and it came down and knocked Norm Pelletier to the outside wall. Heavy damage to Norm Pelletier, and Pelletier's just not having a good night, and I bet he's willing to leave Richmond.
Oh, I see what happened here. Thompson came up the track there, got tight, and just came down and clipped the 56. That was actually none wrongdoing by Peltier, but just wrong place, right time.
Yeah, wrong time indeed, and this will bring out our 3rd caution this evening. We are 35 laps, on lap 35 out of 200. So plenty of time to get that halfway bonus point. Drivers in contention so far, as obviously Josh Skrupa leading the way. Jonathan Shipman, Brian Yazik, and Jeff Ward, and Tommy Ryan in your top 5.
Yeah, it looks like Peltier will be the first one to not lead a lap. It looks or first one to lap down, I should say. But he's on pit road. Everybody else still on the lead lap right now. But tell you what, the racing The racing has been great, though. 35 laps in as we get to 100. That'll be the halfway point, and that'll be the point we actually give away the bonus points from 10 down to 1 for the first for the top 10. So.
Yeah, I've been seeing a lot of patience up there in the top 10, and I'm talking about all them top 10 drivers. A lot of patience. Brian Yazik could have taken it 3 wide on that number 23 car, Jonathan Shipman, but he braked really early, let Jonathan in line, and said, I'll get you later. You know, it's early. No need to go 3 wide right now. So there's a lot of patience going on out there on the racetrack, and these drivers are trying to keep their rhythm.
Yeah, once we get past lap 100, though, it might be a whole nother monster. I'm just listening to some of the chat that's going on here in the race room right now, and I'm just laughing on the inside because it's pretty funny stuff. They're talking about singing back home in Indiana and stuff like that. It must be May.
Yep.
The Scrupa picking up where he left off last week. Now, the 23 of Shipman was right there with him for the most part. He was within about a second, but was never really able to gain momentum here. So I'm just anxious to see how this car is going to be on the long run. You got Yazik back there who's been running well. Jeff Ward has run well. A lot of good cars, some comers and goers. Just looking at some of the guys who have gained the most positions out there. Travis McQuiston, 26th to 14th. Tim Johnson, 24 to 16th. Cohan from 25th to 18th. I'm surprised that Cohan hasn't gone up further.
Yeah, it's still early yet, and these caution flags aren't really helping Nick Cohan out. I'm sure sometimes when the drivers have him to pit and he stays out, but nonetheless, we're going green this time by. Pace car's down 3 and 4, going to make a hard left to pit road, and Scrupa's going to get on a loud pedal again.
Here we go. Pace car is off. You mentioned Scrupa getting on it. He does so, and Shipman gets caught sleeping. Or he spun the tires, one of the two.
I tell you what, he got punted there as a wake-up call, and now he's trying to go on that outside line. Maybe he can get in line here behind Tommy Ryan. He will.
Yeah, Shipman going to fall back to 4th as the top 7 go single file. The first battle back here with Mr. Excitement, Drew Carroll. He's been another one on the move inside of Ricky Harden.
Yep, he's been really fast all night long, and that is Drew
Carroll.
Carroll.
Harden giving a bump to the pepper, and look out.
Bump to the Pepper. Looked like McBride let him in to allow Harding get in side by side with Paul Pepper there.
Oh, 3 wide back here behind him. McChristen making a move underneath Jersky.
Oh, we're getting intensified in the mid-pack here.
Getting a little crazy here. He's right on board with Beef Jersky.
Rahula losing a spot up towards the front here from Jeff Ward.
Wow, Rhett McBride almost scraping the wall down the front straightaway. He got so close to it. He couldn't even stick a paper in there.
Yeah, and that's the way to go around Richmond without hitting the wall, obviously.
Hey, you don't want to hit it, but you want to be able to get that angle up there. As I watch the 28 get a little loose back there, Travis McQuiston, Calvin Blarski, wrong guy. McQuiston, I'm watching him go underneath and take a position away right now from Jersky.
Yeah, Rhett McBride here is he just cracked the top 10. He's up there, he's up there the 9th place now. Troy Hates falling back.
Right here behind him, you see Nick Cohan, the 21, the 54, Tim Johnston, and then Brett Pancari making his debut tonight in that 37 car.
Yeah, Cohan's where he needs to be. Is going to be the bottom line right down there. So he's going to pick up a position, and somebody else right behind him, the 54 machine, Tim Johnston's going to hop down as well on the bottom side of the racetrack.
Some good racing.
McQuiston was having a great run at Martinsville last week until some incidents on the racetrack happened that took him pretty much out of the race. So McQuiston he's got a car to run in the top 10. It's just a matter of just getting there.
Okay, right ahead of McQuiston, you might have seen in the past, Paul Pepper going around Tyler Dalton for position. So move Paul up to the 12th spot. Drew Carroll is the guy on the move. I mentioned earlier, comers and goers. Drew Carroll, he took tires there on that first caution at lap 8 and has slowly worked his way up and now to the 7th position. So Carroll in that clip in the Apex 87 looking pretty good tonight.
Yeah, Yazik's actually keeping tabs with Josh Scrupa, but believe me, if Drew Carroll can get up there in the top 3, he will be a contender for that race lead.
Hey, Tanner, we got a special guest over in chat. Mr. Ambrose has made an appearance.
All right. Mr. Ambrose, according to your pick here, Tyler Dalton, he was running pretty solid, but he kind of slipping back just a little bit, but still early.
Got a fight up here for the third position. Shipman and Tommy Ryan. Ryan trying to hold off the 23, that Fred J. Moyer plumbing car right behind that Northern Tool. For some reason I wanted to say National. Northern Tool and Equipment's car. I see two of those tonight. I saw the 15 running the same kind of paint.
There's a lot of great paint schemes out here tonight. These drivers are running. I'm used to seeing Brian Yazik driving an all blue car Ford, and now it's like all white.
Yeah, it's been white for the last 5 or 6 weeks or so. He's been running that paint scheme.
Definitely is. I think it just made him faster.
Well, they say as long as you don't run green. Green is like bad luck, apparently.
You know, it's funny you say it because I try to run green in almost all any kind of race I run, and I don't know, it's 50-50. Because I like
50% you wreck, 50% you spin?
Yes.
Oh, 10-4.
But he is gaining on Scrupa little by little here, though, for that race lead up here towards the front here, just little by little.
Yeah, Janzik has not let the 25 go. It's not like last week where Scrupa just kind of said bye and ran away from him.
Yeah, Richmond's a little bit different than what Martinsville is.
Yeah, one car off the pace here, Matt Murphy. Murph is going around back straightaway here. And I just figured out Sean Ambrose's pick was apparently Brian Yazik.
Ah!
We know that goes well usually. Anyways, looking at the replay here, what happened to Murph? Comes off of turn 4.
Oh, he clipped Randy Yoakum there. And
drove it awfully. Wow, Yoakum come down on him there.
Yeah, just a little bit. Sometimes when
Nice
you're fighting a wheel like that.
Yeah.
I mean, look at the white lines on the racetrack, though, down turn 1 and 2. You're not going to fit 2 cars in there.
Well, Murph was down. Yeah, he was easily on the bottom there. He had a low entry into the corner there, and I don't know if Yoakum just didn't see him or if his spotter was sleeping or what, but everybody back on pit road.
Oh, yeah, and look at this. Yazik all over that back bumper, clearing some hot dog debris off that grill of the 55 machine. I'm sure his pit crew could have done it for him. But with that being said, he actually did his pit crew a little favor there to try to save him some time. So everybody's going down in their pit box here.
How much did Ambrose pay you to do some kind of food reference?
Good question. I haven't really talked to him about it.
Race off pit road, looking at the front there. Scrupa's going to walk away with the lead easily. There goes the cone. That cone got booted. Tommy Ryan got
up to second, but I'm sure Yazik would have been comfortable in third because the inside row does seem like the way to go.
I think the green cone actually came out second.
Hashtag the green cone on Twitter. Not the orange cone, the green cone.
The orange cone on Twitter is a pretty cool guy, too. I do not think we had a wave around. Everybody's still in the lead lap. Pelletier's off the track.
Yeah, Matt Murphy just went a lap down, and Norton Pelletier is 18 laps down, so I don't think we have a lucky dog.
So, unfortunately, Brutus going to take another break for a little bit. But great action here this week, and if you like the action you've seen so far, next week's Talladega. I wonder what's going to happen there.
Yeah, a lot more than what's going to happen here.
We've seen some action here, but a little bit more 2-3 wide the whole entire time.
Oh, don't worry. Once we're past that halfway point, when someone collects that bonus point, they're going to go 3, maybe even 4 wide too, if you can stick your nose in there, and they're going to go for it. We're
a little less than halfway to that end of segment 1. Again, the halfway point is the end of the segments here, where they give away the bonus points from 10 to 1. Whoever goes from first down to 10th, that'll be who gets the bonus points. But right now, top 10, Scrupa, Tommy Ryan, Brian Yazik, Jonathan Shipman, Jeff Ward, James Carhula, Ricky Harden, Drew Carroll, Rhett McBride, Troy Haight, and that's your top 10, actually. And I'm trying to remember, and I think I might need Sean to help me out here. I always want to get this reference right, but I'm scared to say it, but I'm going to go and throw it out there. Troy Haight is in the Jackson position, is it? The $10 bill? For some reason, I can't remember that. I'm going to get Sean to give me that reference, because that's a soupism.
I think the Jackson position would be 20.
Okay, so maybe it's Johnson then.
Wonder what Tommy Ryan's going to do on this restart here. Josh Skrupa
gonna
is
take the
choosing the
high
high side. Yeah, he's going to take that high side here. He's going to try it out for the first time today. Now, this is actually pretty key strategy. It's going to slow down that inside row, and that's going to give Tommy Ryan that inside.
The Hamilton. That was way off. Samsonite. Now, this is interesting because you look at the speed. Shipman's been almost as fast as Skrupa. I don't know if I would be taking the high side right now.
I don't know if he's caught sleeping again on this restart.
Here we go. Pace car pulls off. Look at Shipman riding on Skrupa there, who gets a pretty good jump. But Tommy Ryan gets a good jump, too, there in second.
Yeah, and guess what? Skrupa beat Ryan to the line, so that is pretty legal. That is legal on Tommy Ryan's part as far as iRacing rules are concerned.
Well, as long as he's behind him when the green comes out, he can make a move all he wants.
I don't think. Oh, I didn't know that part. I
believe that's the
pass
case.
on the inside.
Either way, Shipman and Ryan going to battle for second. Shipman scraping the wall up going into one. He's making sure he clips that apex.
Tommy Ryan eating up that yellow line down there, trying to get on down there to get some grip. And trying to fight side by side with Shipman. Yazik's closely behind, trying to wait for this for Ryan to get by him. But Shipman is actually really holding his own on that high side of the racetrack. I did not, and he actually. Oh, I thought he was going to pass.
He almost had him cleared.
Almost.
But almost only counts in a game of horseshoes. Shipman almost got the wall. That's going to hurt his momentum.
Yeah,
Ryan's going to go by.
Really
Yazik going to go by.
Really going to hurt him now. Now he's not. Now it's just pretty much final.
Now he got the contact. There he goes. Jeff Ford spinning.
No caution though, and everybody's dodging bullets. Oh, there's a caution. Woo-wee-hoo. Oh my gosh.
Runkle is clobbered Jeff
Doggy
Ford.
Don. Oh my gosh.
We got a big wreck here. Blattel, McQuiston, Devin Cannon's in it. Wow.
Wow.
This is big.
Now, director, or I gotta find the guy here first. That almost annihilated the 89 was Rich Jetty. Here we go. Well, take a look at this here, Chris.
You're right on board with Jetty, the Umbrella Man.
Car's gonna come up onto the racetrack here. Gotta get on the loud horn here.
Skirt. And misses him.
Don Runkle. Yeah,
now the dare car. Somebody must have said, "Hey, I dare you to hit the car spun in the middle of the track." But that's not what this dare means.
He accepted that dare.
Wow.
Hard impact right there.
A lot of cars going to be on pit road here. I see the 83 of Cannon involved, so I see two of the three Captain Motorsports team, one of the newer teams here in this series, involved in this wreck.
Yeah, it's very unfortunate for them drivers. Now, there's a bunch of drivers that went down pit road. Brian Yazik is one of them, so he's going to lose all that track position because there's a lot of cars that stayed out.
Looks like most of the leaders that were not involved in that wreck stayed out.
Yeah, Yazik, the front runner, he pitted along with Drew Carroll.
We'll have to see how this all escalates here as we are just about 38 laps away from the halfway point. It is caution number 4, I believe, as I've already lost count because I, for some reason, don't know how to tell myself to write.
5, actually.
5. There you go.
5th caution today.
Number V.
Yeah. 5th caution today for 21 laps so far with 139 laps to go here at Richmond. But as of right now, there's the top 10. Yes, top 10 drivers have stayed out. And everybody else behind that top 10 group has 4 fresh tires. So this is going to be an interesting call.
Yeah, so you're going to have Yazik, you're going to have Carroll, Cadell, Harden, Johnston, Jetty, Jersky, Murphy, Herring, Filarski, Thompson, McQuinton, and Blattel, who have all got newer tires on there, still on the lead lap. I should mention those involved in the accident. Looks like Cannon at least a lap down now. Jonathan Shipman has gone a lap down. in this race from that wreck. So unfortunate situation there. I think Jeff Ward also down there. Yeah, he's a couple laps down himself. So unfortunate situation for those guys, but that's short track racing.
It is, and next week probably won't be any better as they hit the biggest track in NASCAR, the Talladega Superspeedway.
Yeah, that's going to bring its own series of drama. Of course, the Daytona 300 earlier this year won by Ricky Harden. Saw some drama in that race, and all of a sudden we go to Talladega, which is going to bring that 2-3 wide racing, and should be pretty interesting come next week. But just a good series of tracks on the way as we hit Talladega, and I think the weekend after that is the Monza All-Star Race. Gen 6 cars on Monza in the Oval. Oh boy.
Left turning bumpy.
Yeah, left turning bumpy and Gen 6 cars. That says enough. And then after that, they're going on the Monza road course with these cars, which I think will be interesting.
It's definitely going to be interesting, and Talladega is probably maybe a little bit better on racing terms wise because it's not as narrow as what Daytona is. So watch some exciting racing, which is going to be live here on the GSRC next week, Thursday night, same time, same place. As of right now, Josh Skrupa is on the high side, Tommy Ryan down low. Hey, there's Rhett McBride, excuse me. Green flag is out. We're back racing.
Yeah, Skrupa jumps on it. Tommy Ryan, another good start there, but they're going to get single file. Rhett McBride going to jump up there in the third. Again, we're 35 laps from the halfway point here, and we give away some bonus points at that part. James Krahula going to fill in there in the fourth position, easily his best run of the season here.
Troy Hate's in trouble. He's on that high side of the racetrack, and there's no hole for him to get into as he's trying to battle his way out of it, but he just cannot just yet. There's a slight hole there, but that's very risky. Look like the 09 machine, Tyler Dalton, who's actually back up there in the top 10 after losing the top 10 early in the going. He's back.
Watching those fresh tires come through the field. Yazik on the move. He's already into the top 10 here. He's got Cadell right there behind him, Tim Johnston, and all these guys on the fresher tires working their way through.
Yeah, Yazik went underneath Cohan right there. Cohan pretty much let him by. Cadell's going to go underneath Cohan, almost making contact door to door here. They do make a little contact here. Off of turn number 2, a dangerous place to make contact. They're still side by side entering turn number 3. Cadell is actually being followed by the 54 machine of Tim Johnston.
And Johnson there in that 54 trying. Oh, one car down in the apron here. A couple cars on the apron. The 15 of Ricky Harden, the 77 of Rich Jetty, all gone to the apron. Not sure if that groove works on this track or not.
I'm not sure, but there's a lot of loose cars just ahead of these boys as these guys are trying to recover back here. Trying to get fanned out single file at the moment. Wow, Brian Yazik showing his stuff right now. He's trying to work on Paul Pepper here, trying to get his good exits. He's pretty much all over that back bumper of the 29 machine. Now he's going to come off the exit of the corner. He is pretty much there. He's going to look towards the inside. Yes, he will, down in turn number 3.
Ooh, Cadell, I thought was going to dive underneath Troy Haight, but you see there ahead,
he's still
Yazik does make the pass, and Cadell's all over Haight.
Yeah, Cadell is all over Troy Haight right here. Troy Haight's been stuck on that high side since the drop of the restart. Troy Haight up high, up in the gray area, pretty much going to lose another position. Now he's under attack from Nick Cohan.
Yazik working his way up there, these fresh tires, as Skrupa has led pretty much every green flag lap tonight. The only other driver I know that's led a lap is Norman Peltier.
Yeah, we have not seen a lean change under green flag conditions at all tonight, and Tommy Ryan could be one of them. He's still trying to keep tabs with Josh Skrupa, and if that would have stayed green, I really thought Brian Yazik could have caught Skrupa.
And Jeff Ward taking his car behind the wall. As you see Johnston go past the 82 of Troy Haight, so he's falling back. Is starting to see a little bit, and I don't want to be the guy to jinx it, but a little bit of a green flag look here.
Yeah, a lot of drivers just now single file right now, trying to get fanned out just a little bit. There's a couple gaps here and there, especially between third and fourth place positions. Brian Yazik, the biggest mover from that restart, he's up there to 6th spot already after starting outside the top 10, and he's still trying to make ground.
Yeah, we're working on lap number 13 of this run, so those fresh tires are going to continue to work. Shipman off the pace here. Did he blow up or something, or did he get loose? Oh, he got loose in 4. He clipped that apron. Loses off turn 4 there. I don't think he damaged the car, so no harm, no foul, other than just going to lose much track position. Shipman right now, two laps down in 29th.
Heavy damage to the, he's actually got a lot of damage.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's probably from that wreck just a few minutes ago.
I thought he hit the wall there for a minute.
Maybe he did.
Brett McBride's actually showing some muscle right here. He's trying to get on Tommy Ryan, a.k.a. Tommy Ryan Hart. The battle would be for second spot on the racetrack if that would happen.
And McBride trying to go by as Yazik continues to make moves. You mentioned Tyler Dalton getting jumped by Yazik here. Move him up to the 5th position. So Yazik into the top 5 with those tires.
The thought that's going through Brian Yazik's mind is probably, well, that worked. Oh, almost contact. Who was that? That was Nick Cohan. Who was he racing back there? That's Jonathan Goodell. Almost contact between the two drivers.
And you see Yazik making the move underneath of James Krahula. Krahula's got a little bit of left rear damage I'm noticing there, but Yazik going to make the move. You see right behind him there, Cohan going to make a move. Pepper with a late dive on Dalton here.
We got some tremendous racing and more contact between Jonathan Cadell and that was not more contact, actually. That was a different driver. That was Drew Carroll making contact with Cadell, and that cost Cadell a position to allow Tim Johnston to get by.
That Pepper going to get by the Fords. They're almost very wide. There's no room there. And wow.
Nick Cohan and Tyler Dalton pulled out at the same time. And because they both had runs on the driver ahead of them, so that means Nick Cohan had a run on Tyler Dalton and thought he could make it stick down there, but it did not work. Here's the replay of it.
Yeah, Cohan makes a late move into the corner. And Dalton went to make a move, but Cohan thought better of it and got out of it.
Drew Carroll getting underneath James Krahula. Yep. Yeah, and there's Cadell not too far behind, getting underneath Tim Johnston.
Oh, Krahula's loose on 2. Does a lazy spin to the inside of the track. Caution is out.
Oh, yeah. He got really loose, and he has some nose damage there, too. After, looked like kind of rode the bumper of Carroll, and it didn't affect Carroll at all, but getting on the... Man, I think he might be okay.
He just did a simple lazy spin there. Going to keep it on the lead lap. On board here with Cadell. That's just a simple lazy spin.
Pretty much all it is. I mean, nothing too much. A good way to lock it down to avoid a hard impact towards the inside wall. Pretty good driving right there, at least.
Caution number 6 on the track. Pit road's going to be a little busy.
Oh, yeah. And this was a pretty good beneficiary to Brian Yazik because he pitted last time by and climbed all the way into the top 5. Now everybody's going to come down pit road here. 40 miles an hour is the pit road speed.
And just looking at pit roads happen here, it looks like Woodrow Mahan will be the lucky dog, but we're going to watch the stops first. Once the leaders come down pit road.
Four fresh tires.
Yep. Everybody getting 4 new shoes.
Yep. 4 fresh stickers on a track like this, and they're out in the way. That is Skrupa, Ryan, Yazik is back up in 3rd, Brett McBride 4th, and Paul Pepper 5th.
There you go. And we'll step away for a quick second as you won't miss anything as we're actually, let's do the lucky dog first before we go there. Coastal Safety Honors Lucky Dog Award goes to Woodrow Mahan, your one-stop shop for fire and life safety equipment and services. For Woodrow Mahan being the Coastal Safety Auditors Lucky Dog. Now we'll step away as Ricky Harden got a speeding penalty. He's going to the back. You see more racing on the Global Sim Racing channel. And back at the Richmond International Raceway, Josh Grupa has been the guy dominating. We've had 2 short track races so far in the Premier Racing League this season, and Josh Grupa has led about 90% of the laps. When it's all over with, I see Devin Cannon's taking his 83 behind the wall, so he'll be finishing, looks like, in the 30th position tonight. But Grupa are going to bring that 25 off of turn number 4, see if he can get that jump. Tommy Ryan's had some pretty good restarts with him as he goes again here. As we are actually 14 laps from the halfway point. Ryan almost dives it in there.
Yeah, Tommy Ryan dove it in there, but nothing happened towards the race lead just yet. First side-by-side battle on racetrack. Rhett McBride on the high side, Brian Yazik down low. That is a battle spot for 3rd place.
Yazik look underneath Rhett McBride. You see Tyler Dalton back there behind him. Dalton thinking about 3 wide. He has been running pretty solid here tonight. Drew Carroll's running well, and Nick Cohan.
Almost a bottleneck work from Tyler Dalton on back. Tyler Dalton had a brace of action to avoid hitting Brian Yazik, and I kind of bottlenecked these drivers up just a little bit.
That's what you get at Richmond, some bottlenecks like that, and that usually causes an action, especially if you're the 5th car back. I don't know what it is, but for some reason, if you're the 5th car back, you're the wreck.
One thing I have noticed is the high side does work on fresher tires. Rhett McBride got around the 55 machine of Brian Yazik by using that higher line of the racetrack. First side-by-side battle back there is Nick Cohan and Drew Carroll. Drew Carroll on the high side, Cohan on the bottom, and right behind them is pretty close racing as well.
Yeah, you see Jonathan Goodell inside of Tim Johnson there. He's got Adam Jersky behind him. Troy Haight, Brett Pancari there also. This is a pretty good fight right there at the Hamilton position, as it's called.
Definitely is. Goodell on the bottom there. He's going to get clear of Tim Johnson. Now Jersky's going to try to get underneath Tim Johnson there. Nothing producing just yet. Now they're down turn number 1. And now they're side-by-side for position on the racetrack. That would be for the top 10 spot.
And you get 10 laps from the halfway point, so somebody's going to get some bonus points here in just a few. Whoa, a little bit of net code there. Jersky is actually inside the 54 there for a second, literally.
Net code can happen on iRacing, and that's just a chance you take when you race close side-by-side racing.
Somebody exclamation point remove net code.
I really wish.
37 back here behind the passing the 82, so Brett Pancari going to go by the 82 of Troy Haight. Pancari making his debut tonight.
Paul Pepper and Tyler Dalton decide to trade some places on the racetrack this time by. So that moves up Paul Pepper. Tyler Dalton moves back a spot.
Sergeant Pepper looking good tonight. Driving that blue submarine, we'll call it. Want to do a Beatles reference, closest thing possible.
All right, so there's Pepper. So where's Salt?
Oh, look out.
Yazik is all over that back bumper up there for the top 3 spot of Rhett McBride, but hasn't been able to get a run on to make a pass just yet. But he's getting.
He got a run there.
Oh yeah, here we go. Off of turn number 2 into turn 3. Not yet. Maybe. Not yet. There you go. It's like yes, no, maybe.
Yes, no, maybe so. Rich Jetty back here making a move inside of Calvin Filarski, who's having a great run tonight in that 28 car. Going to take the 14th position away. Here comes Krahula, who just had that lazy spin and brought out the last caution.
Yeah, Krahula's actually running pretty good out there to get himself back up into the mix here. Calvin Filarski is, you mentioned it, is having a pretty good night tonight so far. Started 31st up there. He's clinched the top 15 so far tonight, but backed up a spot to 16th. So great showing by Calvin Filarski.
Troy Haight has gotten back by Brett Pancari right in front of this battle for the 12th position. Meanwhile, it is the Josh Grupa show up front.
Josh Grupa, Koopa Troopa, however you want to call him. He's up front towards Tommy Ryan there, about what, 4/10? Yeah, 4/10.
I don't know about that one, but good effort.
Oh well.
I mean, yeah, hey, I was trying to think, what's the character in Mario Brothers? What's
the Koopa Troopa?
Thank you.
That's where I got it from. That's what I said.
Nice. Okay, I was trying to think there. For those who are not born prior to 1995, you might know what a Nintendo system is.
Well, I mean, at least Koopa isn't a part of some Mario Brothers movie I'm not going to talk about, but...
Well, we're 2 laps away from the halfway point here, so actually going to be coming to a white flag technically this lap for the halfway lap. Josh Krupa looking to score 10 more points just like he did last week here.
Yep, and he's going to do that, I think he's going to do that one way or another. Tommy Ryan doing everything he can to hunt him down, but it's just really not going to happen. So hand those points, those 10 bonus points, to Josh Krupa.
There it is. Josh Krupa, the American Pool Supply halfway leader. Josh Krupa scoring those 10 points. Appreciate American Pool Supply sponsoring the halfway leader award throughout the season.
I'll tell you what, it would have been a good battle for that third spot, though, for those halfway points.
And Paul Pepper is on the move here.
He definitely is. He's going underneath Rhett McBride for a third position spot on the racetrack. McBride still fighting on that high side. McBride is really getting that higher line all, hooked up and stuff tonight. Really trying to make it work. He gets good runs on the exit of the corner, but I don't think he's going to get him this time.
I think he will actually clear him here. See, McBride will clear him, or I should say Pepper will clear, and here comes his teammate right behind him, Brian Yazik.
Yeah, that high line ain't going to work for a long time there, Rhett. So may have to follow back in line with Yazik there.
I think later on you get in the race. You might Carroll's getting turned.
Carroll, yep.
Drew Carroll gets turned around.
I think he got help there and tagged by the 09 machine of Tyler Dalton, and he does. And it just hit his 87 machine, just went right around.
That there is a Richmond spin.
That is a Richmond, yeah.
You see Dalton right on the back bumper. And you see Carroll jumps on the brakes there, and bam, Dalton just not in him quick enough there and gets in the back bumper of the 87. Nobody else involved. That's amazing in itself. But caution out for the 8th time, I believe, as the leaders will come to pit road.
Yep, down on pit road here. Skrupa's going to lead him in, who's pretty much led every single lap tonight so far. Well, we're on 105, so I'm going to say 103 laps led so far tonight, because I do believe Norman Pelletier led 1 lap, stayed on under a caution flag. Everybody's in their pit box, getting 4 fresh stickers on their car. Right sides are up. Not seeing anybody else daring to take 2 tires.
Yep, 4 tires, fuel, and Skrupa not going to win the race off pit road. Tommy Ryan. That was a 4-tire stop for Ryan, I believe. Somebody needs to hire that pit crew.
Yeah, it was a 4-tire stop.
For the first time tonight, somebody not named Josh Skrupa is going to be leading the race. Lucky Dog Award, I believe, going to go to Yoakum. Randy Yoakum. He'll be the Coastal Safety Auditors Lucky Dog Award as we put him out. Coastal Safety Auditors, your one-stop shop for fire and life safety equipment and services. Randy Yoakum getting the Lucky Dog as he comes down pit road. We've hit past that halfway point. The bonuses points have been put away, and now you look at the finish line, which is 94 laps away.
Yeah,
so
94. Far, yeah. Oh, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, so far the cars that have gone behind the wall tonight, Jonathan Shipman, Devin Cannon, Jeff Ward, Don Runkle, Norman Pelletier, those are the 5 behind the wall. 28 cars still on the track.
Give a little race rundown here on what's all been going on lately. 106 laps out of 200, so 95 laps to go in this race, coming to 94 laps to go. 7 cautions for 34 laps have taken place here tonight at Richmond. Tommy Ryan has become your new race leader, the 3rd lead change of the race this evening. He's going to take it over Josh Skrupa on this upcoming restart. Pace car lights are still turned on.
Yeah, and we'll see if we're quick. I'll try to run through the field here for you. Tommy Ryan, Josh Skrupa, Paul Pepper, Rhett McBride, Brian Yazik is your top 5. Nick Cohan, he's up to 6. Jonathan Goodell, 7th. Tyler Dalton in the 8th position. Tim Johnson in 9th. Troy Haight in 10th. Brett Pancari in the 11th position. Rich Jetty, 12th. Adam Jersky, Ricky Harden, and James Krahula, your top 15. Adam Littell, Matt Murphy, Josh King, Drew Carroll now back to 19th. Stephen Herring, Rick Thompson, Calvin Filarski, and Randy Yoakum. That is your cars on the lead lap here as we'll go racing, as you mentioned. Should be get the one to go this time by, so we'll get the green with about 92 laps to go.
Yep, pace car lights are turned off, so this is going to be Tommy Ryan going to lead him down here. And this is going to be the first time Josh Krupa is not as the race leader, so he's going to have to play some kind of a different mindset mode here as a second place car. So let's just see how well he does.
And for a little bit, it seems like this race has been in different segments of who can run with Skrupa. For a little bit, it looked like Shipman could run with him. Then it looked like Yazik can run with him. Now it's looked like Tommy Ryan can run with him. The question is now can Tommy Ryan get ahead of him and pull away from him?
Time will only tell as the pace car is going to make a shot at the pit road. Here we go. Tommy Ryan going to get on a loud pedal right here. Green flag is out. We are back racing at Richmond.
And Daytona 300 winner, pole winner, I should say, Tommy Ryan gets the jump and is going to lead that Northern Tool and Equipment Chevrolet down to turn one. As Paul Pepper going to get away for third, the battle on for fourth.
Yes, it is. That's Brian Yazik and Rhett McBride. Now, these drivers battled before with Rhett McBride winning that position off the high side last time these guys battled on a fresh tire battle for position deal, as these guys are still battling for the fourth spot. Paul Pepper actually got a nice shove and push down in turn number 3 at the restart here by Yazik himself.
Yeah, that's teammate work there as Yazik going to clear for the fourth position. Now, for those who love the fuel mileage race, if this does stay green the rest of the way, I do not think you can go the rest of the way on fuel. It's going to be close.
Yeah, I don't think so.
It's going to be close. Now, with the tires, that's going to be the really interesting strategy.
Oh, boy, now you're asking me to get out the calculator.
Well, what calculator? What's that? Up
Pilarski. No, not Pilarski.
We can't blame the broadcaster jinx for this one because we said this like literally a long time ago. So this is not the broadcaster jinx on him. For the jinx to work, it has to happen as soon as we say he so-and-so is doing a good job.
Roy Hayes having a miserable time on these restarts here. He is stuck once again on the high side, deep in the mid-pack here, and he cannot find a hole.
Tommy Ryan, he's staying in front of Skrupa here, so the job well done so far here.
Yeah, so far so good for Tommy Ryan leading the way around this joint. Josh Skrupa, who dominated the day, is riding on his bumper pretty much, just trying to find a way to get around him. And not too far behind, about 8/10 is going to be Paul Pepper and Brian Yazik.
114 laps in the books this time by as Josh Krupa tries to reclaim what has been his most of this race, and that is the lead. You mentioned Pepper, you mentioned Yazik, and Rhett McBride. He's having a great run tonight. How about Jonathan Goodell? How about Tim Johnston? A lot of guys that you see more running the mid-pack, actually running up here in the front.
Whale of a race for Jonathan Goodell here, Chris. Originally, he started 17th, but remember, he had an EOL penalty at the start of the race, so he had to start tail end Charlie, and he's up here running in 6th.
Not bad to start there in the back and work your way up, as you mentioned. First battle on track here. Drew Carroll working his way back through the field as he is on the inside. I think that's Troy Haight there in the 82 as he's going to go by. So move the 87 back up to the 12th position. You see Adam Jersky trying to fill the spot in.
Troy Haight was he was desperate to fill in that spot. He was on the high side a lot in this race.
Yeah, you mentioned Haight. He's been getting past a lot, especially on the short run. Then it seems like on the long run, Troy gets it back together. But he has been in a lot of battles, it seems like, tonight. As we watch Matt Murphy get loose off 2 back there with Adam Blittel.
Yeah, Matt Murphy and Adam Blittel actually have seen some incidents in one shape or form tonight, and their damage on their race cars just says it all. So these guys riding in the mid to back of the pack here.
You know, one thing I was reading as some of the guys talking about it, Cadell's a big Denny Hamlin fan, and, well, Denny Hamlin loves Richmond, so it's no wonder Jonathan Goodell running well here. He turns her sideways. I almost did the broadcaster jinx to him.
You almost did there, and you almost threw the Denny Hamlin curse on him, too.
No, see, the Denny Hamlin curse is when you lead the whole entire race, and then you speed on pit road.
That's something Jeff Gordon would do, but...
Johnston underneath of Cadell here. He's going to bring Nick Cohan with him. As you like to call him, was it the jerky man?
Nick Cohan, the Jerky Man.
Oh,
Yes,
trouble.
sir. Oh, we got trouble.
And it's not for Jonathan Goodell. It's Rick Thompson.
Or the Jerky Man.
The American Pool Supply car has gone for a whirlpool in the swimming pool, it looks like. Oh, turn 4 bit him. That's that old, your tires will spin on you. That's a nice job holding on to her.
Left, right, brake. So
Right
way to, hey, no contact. Everybody getting around that. So Tommy Ryan was able to hold off Josh for that race lead in this green flag stint. Now everybody's going to come down pit road here. Let's see. This is going to be an interesting battle off of pit road because Scroopa's got that #1 pit stall.
Yeah, this ought to be interesting to see if it's all going to come down to if Tommy can get in that pit stall cleanly as he brings him down 40 mile an hour. Now from here, you can make it on tires or on fuel, but the way
Tires?
it's been going, yeah, we can go on tires, I guess, but it's been 20 lap stints, so we'll see here. I have a feeling we might see the yellow hanky a little bit more.
Yeah, same here as all right sides are going up right now. Rick McBride did a 4-tire pit stop. He's done it in a way. Looks like he's gonna beat Paul Pepper off of pit road.
No,
and no,
Scroopa gets it back. Give me my lead back.
That was a 4-tire pit stop. I told you that exit of pit road was going to be interesting once Tommy Ryan got that race lead.
And of course, we get to put him out one more again. Brutus, come on out. You're the next contestant on the Coastal Safety Honors Lucky Dog Award, which goes to Jonathan Lawrence. Coastal Safety Honors, your one-stop shop for fire and life safety equipment and services. The SmackDown car there. Going to get the Lucky Dog.
I hear you right, the SmackDown car?
The SmackDown car, yeah. Got their big pay-per-view this weekend. Backlash for all you wrestling fans.
I used to be a good old wrestling fan, just I kind of drifted away from it.
A lot of people do that. A lot of interesting chat going on tonight. Appreciate all the viewers watching tonight. Sean Ambrose keeping an eye on things as he's down in Texas. Getting ready to come back home. He'll be in Dega with us next week. As Tanner, we do appreciate the 2 weeks of you helping bring our ratings up. Unfortunately, I'm probably not helping much, but hey, good job on your part.
Well, thank you very much. It's a real honor to be here calling the 2 races of Martinsville and Richmond here of the PRL League on the Global Sim Racing channel. It's been a blast, and I look forward to maybe doing some more in the future. Depends. See how Sean Ambrose is, what he's got all going on and stuff. But it's been a lot of fun. I know these guys out there on the racetrack. I've had the fortunate time to race with these guys in the past as well. So these guys they know what they're doing out there.
Ambrose just put a bad visual in my head. He just said, and I quote on chat, he's talking about American Pool Supply here, they let me use the pond out back to back occasionally for a bath. Visuals.
For a bath, huh?
Is it weird that I'm picturing in Shrek right now, an ogre taking a bath in the mud?
Maybe if he was mudding.
Anyway, space car gonna pull off next time by.
We have our director just having a wig back here.
Yeah, we are a family show, aren't we? At least I said Shrek.
All in the family.
And apparently Ambrose is driving to Dega next week, so. Anyway, space car lights are off. Back to the action that matters here.
Yeah, definitely. I get Richmond and Martinsville. He gets Talladega. So here we go. Pace cars in. We're ready to go green, and we are green, side by side. And actually, Tommy Ryan did.
Tommy's first in line. Yeah, Tommy's first in line here.
Oh man! Man, that was a great
picking
move
up. Scroopa gets the run into one as they're getting tighter and tighter each and every lap.
Now, Scroopa was the race leader, right? On the last restart?
He was. He had control. As caution out, trouble turn 4. One car in the middle of the track.
Oh, Adam Jersky's involved in this one.
Caution out again.
Down in turn number 3.
Oh, he's meeting the sandwich there. Matt Murphy turns him.
Eating a sandwich indeed, almost hitting the barrels on the pit road entrance there. And wow, there was drivers squeaking on through there.
Caution out again. We shouldn't see anybody. Oh yeah, it was just a tight squeeze there. Oh, I think the Dairy Queen car there on the bottom. I haven't mentioned his name all night. The 98 car. And I'm looking for names and I can't seem to find it. Herring, or wow. Yeah, Stephen Herring. I was thinking Drew Herring, the NASCAR driver. Anyways, Stephen Herring, the Blizzard car there. I got a little damage here to that Blizzard.
Oh man, daggone! Now I gotta go to Dairy Queen.
Make sure he turns it upside down or it's free. Anyways,
yes.
Just saying.
Oh, we got a lucky dog here.
Yeah, Woodrow Mahan.
Yep, Woodrow Mahan.
Now, Coastal Safety Honors Lucky Dog Award, your one-stop shop for fire and life safety equipment and services. The Coastal Safety Honors. Now, I'm pretty sure that our producer tonight, Amjad, is not happy seeing a golf ball paint scheme on the number 12. He wants his Ford on the car. The, what was it, the blue, help me, Amjad? The blue Bullet, right? I believe it was on his car usually, but this now we get to see Golf Links ink on the car, which is actually a pretty cool paint scheme. It actually looks like a golf ball.
Yeah, and with Woodrow Mahone there, I miss his Jack Daniels paint schemes.
We'll leave the reason alone why there.
Uh-huh.
But it'd be nice to see Woodrow Mahan maybe drive that golf ball into victory lane.
And I tell you what, I don't mean to be offensive or mean to that Woodrow Mahan there, but it looks like a couple guys here tonight actually took some clubs to him.
No, that actually, his car looks like one of my golf balls when I'm done hitting it.
Yeah.
So again, next week it's Talladega and then the All-Star race at Monza. I hope people have life insurance for that race.
Well, if you don't, you can always talk to Dale Earnhardt Jr., who's got Nationwide, and they're on your side.
Folks, we apologize in advance for this broadcast. We have both just ruined it. Because I said we, not you.
Well, okay, unless, if you're looking for other insurance, then State Farm. Talk to Jake. All right.
Nice. But Josh Grupa looking to dominate his way to victory lane. You can't help but give credit to Rhett McBride there, the Georgia driver running in the third position. Paul Pepper there in fourth. A lot of guys you usually don't see running up here in the top 5 and the top 10 area running up here. It's always good to see that.
Definitely is, especially with 70 laps to go, 9 cautions for 45 laps. Ben Skrupa and Ryan pretty much 1-2 the rest of the way. I'm just curious to see if those Skrupa and Ryan are going to get mixed up here at some point, but I don't think they will anytime soon.
Can appreciate it by chatting with us on Global Sim Racing Channel. If you could come and join us on our YouTube page and chat with everybody in here, or if you're watching us on iRacing Live tonight, we appreciate it. Premier Racing League and the Patriot Fire Cup Series Commonwealth 200. This is race 13 of the season, race 1 of the summer segment. 12 races long. That'll wrap up in Watkins Glen, but we're all about Richmond tonight as Skrupa back on it. Tommy Ryan, not as good of a jump. Pepper's going to squeeze down into the third position in front of Rhett McBride and even go for second.
Oh, yeah, Pepper's going for it, and he ain't taking no prisoners. And there's a little bottle up off turn number 2, but everybody's got through it fine. Paul Pepper and Tommy Ryan side by side for that second spot. Pepper wants it. Tommy Ryan doesn't want to give it up. Still side by side to the line. Pepper beat Ryan to the line there.
Good Richmond racing as always, especially during the daytime. You're side by side racing everywhere on the track. Tommy Ryan going to fall back to the third position. Yazik going to make a move under McBride here.
Yazik underneath McBride. I don't know how many times these guys have battled side by side, but it's always entertaining so far. Paul Pepper did get that second spot there. Jonathan Cadell is actually back here, stuck on that high side, under attack from Nick Cohan, the jerky man, in that Toyota.
You got to love those. Man, you got Ricky Harden. Haven't said his name most of the night there. The other Northern Tool car tonight for Unacceptable Racing. He is making a move underneath Tim Johnson. Going to take that spot. Drew Carroll going to come with him.
pretty good restart for these drivers here. As oh wow, who closed the door on Carroll there? That was Ricky Harden.
Yeah, hard. No silk for you. I've been waiting to say that all night.
Tim Johnson stuck in that high side. He's been having a great run here tonight at Richmond, but now he's stuck in that lane where you really don't want to be in.
Tyler Dalton, haven't said his name in a while. Looking underneath the 54 of Tim Johnson. That's a battle for the 11th position there.
Tyler Dalton's been up and down pretty much all night, out of the top 10, in the top 10. He's been there. He's just been back and forth.
Just shows you how competitive this league is, where you get guys that are comers and goers throughout the night that can get in trouble and fall back, and then they come back through the field. It just shows you the tight racing this league has.
Majority of the field is single file racing at the moment, so not really any kind of side by side. Yeah, going on right now, but oh, Cadell almost hit the wall, got really close to the wall.
Yes, 68, make that 62 laps to go here in this race. Lap 138 on the board. Josh Krupa has led a good amount.
Continues to lead too.
He led at Martinsville for over 200 laps here. He's on pace to lead over 100 laps tonight. But Paul Pepper, he is starting to work his way in here a little bit. Last time by, Scrupa was faster, and Pepper's within a half second here of the leader.
I gotta check to see who is, since we got some pretty good racing going on here, actually single file racing, but just gonna have to see who's led the most laps so far this season. That would be a pretty good, interesting stat to have.
If I had to guess that, I'm going to go and throw this out there. If I had to guess, it's Bob Bryant.
I just pulled it up. It is not Bob Bryant, but I'll let you continue to guess though.
It's probably Scrupa now because he's led all these laps.
Exactly. It is Josh Scrupa, and this is before any Richmond stats are going to be added on here tonight. 395 laps led so far this season,
and he led like 250 last week. So
yes,
do the math. Tommy Ryan starting to put pressure on the 29 here. Tommy looking to get that second position, looking to go to victory lane here tonight.
Now, what would that mean for Paul Pepper to go to victory lane here tonight? That would probably mean a lot to that 29 group.
Well, yeah, he's one of the lone Loud Pedal Motorsports guys who hadn't been to victory lane. Yazik's been to victory lane. Of course, Scott Eckrich, when he was driving, been to victory lane. And unfortunately, no Krolbach tonight. And so a little limited tonight, but hey, Pepper's definitely shown his muscle in that 29 Ford.
Certainly has been. He's got the car to do it, and he's shown he likes this racetrack. But that top two battle right there, I should say second and third place, is actually pretty close. Nothing's actually heating up just yet. Trying to see.
Drew Carroll underneath Ricky Hart, who shuts the... Wow.
I don't know.
Once again, no soup for you.
Yeah, over that back bumper now.
Oh, what? There's a block.
Uh-oh. Oh, he moved him out of the way.
Saves it and hooks him.
Oh, he moved him out of the way.
And there. That got exciting, literally.
I was literally just about to say, I don't know how much you want to continue to do that to Drew Carroll there.
Drew Carroll will definitely, he plays no games, literally, and he didn't play games there with Ricky Harden, moved him out of the way and moves up 2 spots, so moved Carroll up to the 7th position. Back here right behind him, Brett Pancari under attack. This is for 12th. He is getting passed, looks like by Troy Hayton, the 82 here.
Haven't mentioned Brett all night so far tonight.
And Brett in that 37 car. It's his first race tonight, Canadian driver. He's just logging laps and running up here. He's been in the top 20 most of the night.
Really good showing so far for that number 37, Brent Carey.
Yes, he's the one Captain Motorsports car that's left out there on the track. The other two, unfortunately, involved in that huge wreck off 4.
Just ahead of
98
him.
Up the track.
Oh, 98, yeah.
Just getting out of the way, looks like that damaged Blizzard machine.
That is Steve Herring, yep. Hopefully he can flip the lid and I can get some free ice cream from D.
I see what you did there.
Tommy Ryan has actually lost a little bit of contact to Paul Pepper, but Paul Pepper is actually keeping 6/10 on Josh Skrupa.
The guy actually on the move is here in the 5th position. Nick Cohan.
Yes.
He's gone by Yazik. He's gone by Cadell, and now is up here looking to pressure Rhett McBride for 4th. So the champ of the spring season is looking pretty good here. Now, I should mention, somebody did ask on the stream. I want to get this out there. Johnny Sykes, I believe the guy is here. Yes, about streaming the races. Yeah, you can actually look on our YouTube page, Global Sim Racing channel page, and you see all the races that have been streamed for the Premier Racing League. I believe that was the question he was asking. I could be wrong.
Nick Cohan, the jerky man, just trying to work on McBride. Looks like he's running a little bit of a lower groove than what McBride is. He's still trying to hunt him down, though. But once Nick Cohan can get by Rhett McBride, then he'll have to focus on his championship competitor from the first semester or first season. Or I shouldn't say first season, but the first part of the season, with that tiebreaker, Tommy Ryan.
Should mention, this is the longest run we've had so far tonight. Here comes the jinx. We're at 31 laps into the run. Let me look around and see who's wrecking, because I usually spoil this.
And yellow. I'm kidding.
As Yazik goes underneath Cadell, Cadell shuts the door on him.
These guys are pretty fun to watch on and off the track. Sometimes with their social media pages. Jonathan Cadell, Brian Yazik, always a blast. Oh, Yazik extremely loose off of turn number 2. And now I'm throwing the curse on Yazik as I got my eyes on him. I thought he was going to go for that position on Cadell there, but he really got loose off of turn 2.
This car gets a little push loose. It gets so tight in the middle of the track, and then basically you turn that wheel so much at the back end tries to snap on you. That's why you try to straight line it as much as you can. Cohan going for 4th underneath Rhett McBride here. You want to try to straight line it off the corner. It's easier said than done, but you can do it here.
Yeah, you can definitely do it.
Oh, Cohan getting loose. Look out.
All right, Cohan. Gotta lay off that beef jerky there.
And next pit stop, Cohan, 4 tires and a pair of underwear.
Yep, yeah. Man, it just seems like when drivers try to, on older tires like this, as the tires wear out, when you try to make a pass on somebody, it just seems like you're getting really loose when you're trying to make the attempt to pass somebody.
Riding on board with Cadell, the Steel Horse Racing car.
Carrying a good tribute paint scheme tonight. Chris Cornell.
Hey, what? Everybody kind of settled out a little bit here. McBride has stayed ahead of Cohan. Pepper's been able to keep Scooper for the most part arm's length, about a second or so. Back Tommy Ryan about 1.7 back. Rhett McBride 3 back. And one car on pit road, the 98. Stephen Herring off the pace here. He might be on his way to get a blizzard.
Yeah, that might be the best option.
Mine particularly, I like to mix in the Oreo with the mint. That's me.
I'll have to get somebody here in the booth here to go and have contact Stephen Herring to tell him to bring up some blizzard for us up here.
We got the guy in chat. Ambrose can do it for us.
Oh, yeah, Ambrose, yeah.
He ain't doing anything. Was he on vacation?
From what I heard.
Last week was vacation week.
Cohan's actually gaining back there on Rhett McBride. He's coming back. Now it's just a matter of trying to get around McBride without spinning or trying to spin her out again. So here he goes on the bottom side of the racetrack, not really producing anything, but he's still gaining on him. Entering turn number 3. Nope. Can't do nothing there, but he's going to run a different line.
Well, the one thing I want to mention here, we haven't said this word all night. Lap traffic about to come into play. Scooper are going to put a lap on John Wilco, the 62. And he's going to be coming up on Jonathan Lawrence, Justin Rodden, and Calvin Flarski over the next 3 to put a lap down here.
And he's got a little room to work with, Scrupa does, so he's going to pull away here as Paul Pepper is going to try to catch the lap car.
Tires, looks like about 41 laps right now on this run for those watching on the stream. Somebody asking how old the tires are. It's about 41 laps on this run.
in hot, slick conditions with track temperature 98 degrees. As we did talk to Nick Cohan earlier today during the pre-race show. He did say that it is really hot and slick out there on the racetrack.
And looking at lap times, they've fallen off about a second from the fastest lap of the race. I'm looking at Strupa's fastest lap of 21.054. His last lap of 22.171. So it makes you wonder, and I'm going to throw the question out there, Tanner. If you're somebody running 12th, 13th, 14th, somewhere back there with Krahula, do you pit here, put the cycle in half, and go get new tires?
You can make it on fuel, right?
Oh, Yoakum stopped on the track here, turn 2. He's going to get it going with no caution. He kept it on the apron. I heard somebody apologize to him.
Hey, yeah, it must have been Calvin Filarski that was the one that got on the radio to apologize to him.
Oh, yeah, he slid up into him there. Ugh. Tough break.
Now, the reason why, he is stopped on the apron of the racetrack, and the reason why the caution did not throw, folks, is because he's not on the actual racetrack itself for it to be thrown.
Leaders in heavy lap traffic as Tommy Ryan is back up to Paul Pepper here. The battle's going to be on very shortly.
I think Nick Cohan did not get by Rhett McBride just yet, but yeah, you're right. Tommy Ryan gaining on Paul Pepper here. Paul Pepper having a tremendous run this evening. Started 10th, up there in 2nd.
Yeah, Pepper's had a great run tonight, but I'm just very interested to see if we do see somebody try the pit strategy here and go get those fresh tires, but I don't know if it might be a little too late. Troy Haight, look at that. Troy Haight, the 82 on pit road. Somebody's watching the stream and shouldn't be. Troy Haight. Or I guess it's okay if he watches it, but you know what I mean. Don't watch a stream while you're driving. It's dangerous. It's like texting.
He's probably not watching. He could be listening.
That's true, too. It's like people who try to stream and reach out while they're racing. Not a good idea.
Yeah, I just wonder. I didn't get the numbers on the fuel tank here. You said we could probably make it to the end, right?
About 100 laps. 75 to 100. That's a wide number. Probably 90 to 100 laps on the tank. So they should easily be able to make it on fuel. It's the tires. And I want to watch Troy Haight's laps here. Because if he starts... Oh, boy. Oh, that changes everything.
That bit Troy Haight, too.
And cautions Drew Carroll, turn 2. Oh, boy. Underneath Cadell. Makes the pass there, and then Tim Johnston goes by, and wow. Cadell drives into Drew Carroll.
Oh, wow.
Well, it's safe to say that didn't look unintentional. And Cadell's been removed from the server, but that was not good. Wow.
He didn't even make contact with that 54 machine of Tim Johnson. I thought they made contact, but he didn't. He just really dove into the corner and pretty much annihilated Drew Carroll.
I think Jonathan Cadell and his crew chief have been called to the PRL trailer, I believe.
They have.
Now, I'm going to check the papers here as the leaders are on pit road here.
Both drivers were having a whale of a run here tonight. Both drivers were in the top 10, Cadell and Carroll. But nonetheless, everybody's down on pit road. Adam Jersky, the only one to overdrive his pit box. Everybody's pretty much done. Strupa, 4 tires on the go. First pit stall beneficiary to him. Paul Pepper the second, and Tommy Ryan third.
Now, I wanted to make sure there wasn't any kind of team game going on. That's why I was looking here real quickly. But Jonathan Cadell, part of Steel Horse Racing, and looking down at the 15 of Ricky Harden, part of Goat Rope Racing, which I believe is part of Unacceptable. So, don't think there was any team thing there. So that was just interesting, though. Tough break there for Drew Carroll. I know he's one that races hard. That's why we call him Mr. Excitement. But I know one thing that's not tolerated is people wrecking people intentionally. Calvin Filarski going to get the Lucky Dog, Coastal Safety Honors Lucky Dog Award, going to the Waste Management Toyota. He did not waste this Lucky Dog. Your one-stop shop for fire and life safety equipment and services. We're going to step away here, and we'll go side by sides. We have 30 laps, 28 laps to go here at Richmond. You're going to see the finish here on the Global Sim Racing Channel. .27 laps to go here at the Richmond International Raceway. Should mention Troy Haight, amongst others, getting the wave around. He will now be 1 lap down. He lost 2 laps with that whole thing. But in honor of Sean, watch us on the stream tonight, my friend. This is for you. 26 to go. It's time to boogie, baby. Green flag back out. Scrupa on it. Pepper going to squeeze in behind Tommy Ryan, who's going to steal second. Top 3 going to go single file as Nick Cohan, Rhett McBride, and racing really going to start to pick up now.
It certainly is now, because we're getting down to it here, Chris. We got that side-by-side battle. Yazek on that higher side fighting with Rhett McBride, but he's going to have more company from behind as we're coming down to it. Laps are just winding down, and the clock's just getting louder.
Drew Carroll with no rear end. Looks like Jeff Gordon in the All-Star race in 97, I believe, with a Jurassic Park car running up here to top 10 with no rear.
There a Jurassic Park car like years ago that the France family, like Bill France Jr., did not like?
I think it was the car they ended up putting a rule in because literally the back bumper got ripped off Gordon's car and nobody could catch him after that.
I love NASCAR history. That battle for second place might be picking up. Paul Pepper did get by Tommy Ryan earlier in the last green flag stint and held it. Just a matter of trying to get around him once again.
Leaders getting all sorted out here. The first battle on the track back here, the 37, Brett Pancari going underneath Tyler Dalton. That is for the 9th position. So how about Pancari jumping into the top 10 here as he's going to bring Ricky Harden with him?
Yeah, Pancari's been having a whale of a run all night long tonight. Kept that car clean. Now he's got a shot for a top 10 finish. Tyler Dalton on that high side getting under attack by Ricky Harden now. Ricky Harden's actually had a pretty eventful night himself. Harden started 9th. He's up there in 11th. Really hasn't been in the top 10 too much, but he's still one of those drivers that has kept his car clean.
Ricky Harden, a Daytona 300 winner from earlier this season, has had a pretty solid season for the most part. And I tell you what, Scrupa is not getting away. The top 4 right there with him.
Not getting away this time.
They can catch him. I just don't know if they can pass him.
Well, if you're going to try to pass him, you're going to end up dive bombing the corner. I don't know. That's a little bit of a bigger gap than usual between Tommy Ryan and Scrupa.
Oh, Pepper all over Ryan's back bumper as he slid up the track a little bit there, but he gave him a break.
Definitely gave him a break indeed. So still sliding up just a little bit. He come back down to get that, hug that yellow line. Paul Pepper, Tommy Ryan, Nick Cohan not too far behind.
Great racing here. All look at the top 6, all within a second of each other.
Oh, the action.
Oh,
caution. Back of the pack.
Oh, big wreck here. Rick Thompson, Jersky in it. Now the strategy is going to get interesting. Oh, Justin Rodden hit a turnbuckle.
See what happened down turn 1 and 2 down here. Oh, Travis McQuestion gets into Adam Jersky. Oh, wow, that 27 machine. I think he just decided to take the steel steps or the steel chair to him.
They're launching out again here with 18 laps to go. Here's where the strategy could come into play. We got about 12 laps on tires.
Pepper and Tim Johnston fake her out, almost annihilating the barrels, and I've annihilated those a few times at this track, but holy cow.
Look at the cars staying out here. We got about 5 or 6 staying out. We have Paul Pepper, Tim Johnston, Brett Pancari, Tyler Dalton, James Krahula. Remember what I say about strategy? Follow Krahula. And Adam Blittel. And it looks like Josh King is Troy Hate's going to get the lucky dog. Your postal safety auditors lucky dog going to go to Troy Hate. Your one-stop shop for fire and life safety equipment and services. Postal safety auditors, Troy Hate getting that lucky dog. Very interesting strategy. They say sometimes the fastest car doesn't win, and here you are tonight. The fastest car is going to be restarting back at about the 12th position or so. I'll have to see when it officially updates here.
We are not done wrecking. I can almost guarantee that.
Meanwhile, I just learned a lesson about keeping my window open, and all of a sudden the downpour just happens outside my house. I just got drenched. That's good. The good news is I'm 2 inches from my window, so I can just shut it. So we are going to get the green with less than 15 to go. And Paul Pepper going to be the leader. Tim Johnston going to be second. Brett Pancari going to be third. And you're going to have James Krahula there fourth. Tyler Dalton going to be fifth.
It's going to be interesting to see here. Scrupa's up there, back there in eighth. So you're going to have 7 cars that stayed out. That's going to be dealing with traffic. And not on top of that is going to be who's going to spin them tires on older stickers.
Yeah, this is going to be interesting. The first guy on tires is going to restart 8th. And Josh Scrupa is that guy.
I think this was a good call to at least try to use a little strategy to win the race. But at the same time, if this stays green, I think those guys on tires are going to come and get you. You're hoping for cautions.
If you're the leaders, yes, because you get a caution, it's at least 5 laps. But
yes,
hey, anything's possible here. We'll have to see. We'll get 1 to go next time. So we're going to get the green with 13 laps to go. And again, we appreciate everybody in chat talking with us and stuff. And obviously got a little bit of drama on our hands with the incident with Drew Carroll and Jonathan Goodell. Unfortunate situation there between 2 good drivers.
2 very good drivers indeed.
We should see here, Paul Pepper going to get the restart here. We will have 13 laps to go. This is where you put all your seatbelt on. You make sure you're strapped in, ready to go, because it's going to get interesting.
Going to get interesting indeed. Here we go. Green flag. We are back racing at Richmond as, oh boy.
Pepper got a real good restart there. Look at him split 3-4 wide here in the 1.
You kind of have to on older tires.
Yikes!
Oh boy. This is like Talladega, folks. We're 1 week away from that.
So far, so good.
I could hear director in the background cringing.
Oh, I'm cringing here. As Pancari's trying to get third. Here comes Scrupa on the tires. Scrupa up to 4th.
Oh, 77 machine in the wall.
That would be Rich Jetty. As Scrupa's up to 3rd. Cohan up to 4th.
Now Scrupa's just got to pass 2 cars. Now this is going to be interesting. Next time by will be 10 laps to go. Oh no, Tim Johnson blinking. That ain't good. You don't want that.
I think it's only a matter of time before we see Scrupa take this lead if we stay green. 10 laps to go this time by.
Here comes Scrupa now. He's going to be under attack to Tim Johnston here.
Back here for fifth, Yazik underneath Pankari. He's going to bring Rhett McBride with him. Perhula's trying to get around this. Oh, caution out. Trouble turn 2, I think I see.
I see. Yeah, it's turn 2.
I don't see it.
Hey, stop on the racetrack? Oh, yeah, I see it. It would be the number 8 machine, Randy Yoakum.
Oh, Yoakum bringing out the caution. Oh, this is going to get interesting now. As we get the replay set up here, I think your bet is made with if you stayed out and stuff here. So we're going to look at Yoakum here as...
Oh, believe me, it is made. It is definitely made. I don't care what anybody says there. It's made.
And just watching Yoakum here, he's outside of Murphy. Goes down here into 1 and 2, and oh, he gets tagged by the 76. That little sideways moment. Wow. Okay then.
Oddly enough, the last time with Randy Yoakum getting hit like that, it did happen, but there was nobody else behind those 2 cars, which is probably the reason why the caution didn't come out, because nobody was coming. But with this being said, there was other drivers behind those 2 guys that just got involved in this last caution here, so that's why it was brought out.
I do want to check. I believe Matt Murphy got the lucky dog. Yes, he did. Matt Murphy, Coastal Safety Auditors Lucky Dog, your one-stop shop for fire and life safety equipment and services. Coastal Safety Auditors, Matt Murphy getting a lucky dog, and we are going to have a very interesting restart here. We are going to have less than 5 laps to go. Josh Scrupa is going to be third behind Paul Pepper and Tim Johnston. Can Pepper pull the upset?
Well, he's just thankful that iRacing does not have green-white checkered, so we'll just have to see.
Cohan, fourth, Dalton, Brian Yazik, Brett Pankari, Rhett McBride, Krahula. Now, right now, as I'm looking here at the standings, if you're Pepper and Johnston, if you're Johnston especially, you're in a winning spot right now because you were back about mid-pack, 10th to 15th. Johnston, I'm talking about here, actually a little bit inside the top 10. He's second right now. If he gets that finish, then he steals it with these tires. Where you look at a Pankari, he's running 7th, which is just a little bit higher where he's usually been running throughout the night. Yet some of these guys on these older tires might still gain from staying out.
Yeah, that's true too, but if we remain green, it might be a long shot for Tim Johnston because he's going to line up side by side with Paul Pepper, and Josh Scrupa, who's on fresh Goodyears, is going to be on the inside in third. You're kind of asking for a lot, but you're hoping it happens.
No, I agree. I think Scrupa's in the race winning position with the newer tires. I just look at the guys who are running mid-pack or maybe just into the top 10 who have gained positions out of not taking those tires and staying out here.
Now, if I was Paul Pepper right now here on this restart, if I was Paul Pepper, I would take the outside row on this restart. Pin down that inside row.
I agree with you on this move. The only thing is Nick Cohan's on tires right behind you, too.
It's true, too, but you'll have a better
I think
shot.
Scrupa's the guy you want to hold off here. So I agree. Let's see what Pepper does. He is going to take
And
the
look
high
at
side.
this.
Good
Look
call.
at that. All right, so Paul Pepper choosing that outside row. He knows what he's got to do to get this done. He knows it.
So I think if you're a Vegas betting man right now, it's going to be 3 wide for second, probably going to turn 1. Just a guess.
It'll happen.
Or
It's just
Scrupa's going to try to get the run on Johnston. You got a Cohan on the outside. Don't be surprised if it's even 4 wide going to turn 1.
Yep.
But we're going to have 4 laps to go. Can Pepper hold him off on the old tires? He's gone. Look at that jump.
He's gone, but oh man, that may not have been a very good move because look who's behind him. Cohan. Nick Cohan, the jerky man. He's running that high
trouble.
line.
That's it.
Trouble. Caution's out, and that will be it.
Turn. That's Randy Yoakum on the front straightaway. That's it.
And Johnson will at least get a top 3. Who was involved with that wreck again?
Wow. Yoakum spun it out. Paul Pepper comes back after missing a couple races and is going to go to victory lane tonight.
Randy Yoakum definitely overcorrected it towards the racetrack by turning the wheel to the right.
Wow.
Look at that. Those tire strategy paid off.
Nick Cohan's going to finish second. Tim Johnston going to get third. How about that?
Tell you what, that was a whale of a finish, honestly. Even though it's going to end under caution here, but that's besides the point. I thought Paul Pepper, if that would have stayed green, I thought Paul Pepper made the mistake on jumping that.
It was interesting.
Cohan was coming. Cohan was coming.
Well, and the thing is, Cohan actually got black flagged by iRacing for that jump on Tim Johnson. It was so good, but they cleared it. But yeah, Pepper, I mean, I think the rule is, and I'll have to clarify this with Rahul and them, I believe the pace car has to have all 4 wheels off the track.
I'm going to look back and see that restart there. It's borderline, I would say that, but nonetheless, victory will go to Paul Pepper, and I'm sure race officials will review it as soon as the race is done to see everything. So,
yeah, Paul Pepper going to take this victory. He's by the way, going to be his first Cup Series win in the Premier Racing League. So, welcome to Season 2, Paul Pepper. As he's going to come off of turn number 4 here, and the question was, do you take tires? Do you not take tires? The answer is no. Paul Pepper stays out, and on a late race strategy, wins the Commonwealth 200, his first career Cup Series win in that 29.
Tremendous win by Paul Pepper there. That was the right call. Him and Tim Johnson both.
Johnston gets third behind Nick Cohan, Brian Yazik, Josh Skrupa. Unfortunately, he's going to be the man who's not happy right now. Going to finish in the 5th position. We'll talk to the top 3 finishers, and we'll recap the Richmond race here as you're watching the Global Sim Racing channel. Back at Richmond International Raceway, it was the Josh Grupa show for about 75% of the night when all of a sudden pit strategy came in with 18 laps to go. Paul Pepper stays out, doesn't take tires, and goes to victory lane. Thanks to a little help from the yellow flag, but hey, a win's a win. Pepper takes it. Nick Cohan, he will finish second. Tim Johnson third. Brian Yazik, Josh Grupa, heartbreaking fifth place finish for him. Rhett McBride, Tyler Dalton, Tommy Ryan, Brett Pancari, James Krahula, your top 10.
And sitting out the side of the top 10 on their finishing position, Adam Blattell in 11th. Ricky Harden, who had a good run in the top 10 and fell back outside the top 10, finished 12th. Travis McQuestion, 13th. Woodrow Mahan in 14th. 15th, Drew Carroll. Very unfortunate for Drew Carroll there. Josh King in 16th. Troy Haight had a very up and down night tonight. Stuck on that outside line. Finishes 17th. Calvin Filarski in 18th. John Wilco in 19th. Rounding out the top 20, Rich Jetty.
Taking a look at 21 through 30 here. 21st, Rick Thompson. 22nd going to Matt Murphy. Adam Jersky 23rd. Jonathan Lawrence 24th. Randy Oakham getting 25th. Most of these, the rest of these cars having issues on the track. I mentioned Randy Oakham, Justin Rodden, Jonathan Cadell, Stephen Herring, Jonathan Shipman finishing 29th, Devin Cannon 30th, Jeff Ward, Don Runkle Jr., Norman Peltier, and Thomas George did not make an appearance tonight on the track there. So I guess officially he'll be 34th. Not sure if he'll get scored with points or not when it's all over with. But tell you what, I know one thing. There is a lot of fluids being sprayed right now at me in Victory Lane right now, and I am soaking wet thanks to this man, Paul Pepper. I don't know what this fluid is, but wow. Congratulations, man. Welcome to Victory Lane.
That fluid's beer, baby. We're going to drink a bunch of it tonight. Woo! Thank you. I can't believe it.
Paul, that strategy, what made you sit there and think, you know what? Let me stay down here and see if I can do this.
I don't know. I just, we only ran about 10 laps, and from previous runs in the race, those short runs with the cautions, you didn't really give up a whole lot. If a guy's had new tires right behind you, then, you're going to get pretty much freight train. But luckily enough people stayed out, and yeah, we went up in Victory Lane. I'm pumped. I can't believe I'm trying not to swear right now.
Yeah, we appreciate that. On a serious side of things, Tanner made the call right there before that restart. He said, I wouldn't be surprised to see Paul take the high line on the restart. What was in your siding there?
My teammates. I was committed to the bottom. I'm a bottom feeder, and I was getting freight trained all night on the top. And then, just everybody over at LPM was just telling me that the best strategy is to go up top. When you got guys like Nick Cohan, Brian Yazik, Drew, Scott, everybody telling you restart strategy, you tend to listen. Those guys know what they're doing and to end up in Victory Lane. So I just listened to them and try to time that restart the best I could.
Well, Paul, this is obviously a big win for you. I know you've taken a couple weeks off. You came back and definitely made the right moves and everything tonight, going to Richmond, Victory Lane to start the segment. And I guess we can go and share you the point leader, too, with this summer segment.
Yeah, 10-4 on the point leader. Unfortunately, my work schedule doesn't change, and they won't let me race up where I work. So we're here for wins this year. That's all we're here for, wins and good finishes. So definitely happy I was able to get a cup win. I didn't think I was going to be able to win one of these things ever, especially at Richmond, let alone all tracks.
Well, Paul, just leave us your phone number, and we'll have Sean Ambrose contact your manager here sometime this week. But nice job on your win, and send a shout-out whoever you like.
I just want to thank all my teammates at LPM. If it wasn't for them, they've helped me so much with all their tips and advice. Thanks to Outliers Mining Solutions, we got ourselves a win. Brad, Adam, Salar, everybody up at Detour Gold that tuned in watching this right now, and thanks to you guys for putting on a broadcast. And I can go drink some beers now, man. I'm getting wasted.
Okay, have fun with that. Do it responsibly, though, Mr. Pepper. Congratulations on your win.
10-4, thanks a lot, guys.
Paul Pepper going to Victory Lane here, and safe to say, Tanner, the Ottawa Senators, not the only Canadian team doing some winning right now when the championship on the line. Ottawa doing some pretty good jobs right now in the National Hockey League Eastern Conference Finals, and now Paul going to Victory Lane. But Tanner, you got his teammate Nick Cohan.
Yes, I do. His teammate got the win, and Nick Cohan's the Jerky Man's going to get a good old second place from 25th position. How in the world did you get up towards the front to be able to finish second?
Oh, man, I have no idea. That first caution that came out, I got a speeding penalty, so I was actually dead last, 33rd there. What was 10 or 12 laps in, and I just kind of rode around, just took what I could get and just stay out of trouble. And you can't finish the race if you're not there at the end, so just trying to stay out of trouble, and we did that. We had some good battles with Rhett out there. That was a ton of fun. It was really slippery, but you could really wheel it. The practice with the dirt really came into play tonight because it was really loose off the corner, but it made it really fun, and I'm sure we put on a good show for you guys.
It certainly did, for sure, and it was a heck of a show up here in the booth because we had some good old cracking jokes as well. But nonetheless, how was the passing out there? It just seems like passing was really hard to do as everybody was on the same amount of fresh tires and stuff like that on slick conditions like this. And you, at one time, you were trying to get a run on Rhett McBride, and you got really loose coming off turn number 2, I believe. How hard is it to drive these Gen 6 Cup cars at a track like this?
Oh, they're a handful. I mean, when you're at a night race, there's a ton of grip, and it's a different story. But here at a hot track at Richmond, it's difficult. And I got on the inside of him a couple times, and I just could not get it to stick. And it's just so, like I said in the pre-race interview, you can't get on the throttle as quick as you can, and you're trying to keep it down on that yellow line so you don't hit that car on the outside of you. So it was really tricky, and we just. Yeah, I've been teammates with Rhett for a long time, wanted to race him clean, and we had a hell of a battle. He had the outside working, so then I tried starting to do the outside, but I couldn't figure it out. So then I went back down to the bottom. It was a lot of fun, but passing was definitely difficult tonight, as you could see.
It definitely was. Now, last time we were at a restrictor play track, you finished second, and that was back in Daytona. And now next week we're going to Talladega. How confident are you to try to get a victory, your first victory of the season? Actually, you got a victory this season. Excuse me, you had it at Texas Motor Speedway. How about your second victory of the season?
Super speedways have normally never been good to me. I got kind of lucky at Daytona and almost had our first win there by a couple inches. Ricky got us, but I just don't know what it is, and every strategy I seem to do at super speedways always backfires. So I kind of just play it by ear now. So we'll see. Talladega is a lot wider, so I think it creates a lot better racing. So I think that'll be fun. Not really looking forward to it, to be honest with you, but because we also have some road courses coming up too. So this stretch of the schedule is going to be tough. So that's why I needed a good finish at Martinsville and Richmond, because these two tracks are really not good tracks for me, and I definitely wasn't a second place car tonight, and I definitely wasn't a 4th or 5th place car last week at Martinsville, so very happy to finish where I did. So
all right, sounds good there, Nick, and thank you for taking the time to come talk with us here tonight, and we will see you at Talladega, or shall I say Chris and Sean will see you at Talladega next week. I will be just watching in the background.
Well, first I got to give a shout out to Paul. That was an awesome win for him, first win, and we had to convince him to start on the outside. He really wanted the bottom, but we got him to get back up to the outside, and he really wheeled it there. So congrats to him, and see you guys next week.
Thank you, Nick.
Absolutely, Nick Cohan. Nice job there. Sorry, Tanner, didn't mean to step on you there, but Tanner Sharp there with Nick Cohan as well. Unfortunately, Tim Johnston not here with us. Looks like to talk, so unless he can get here pretty quickly. But Tim Johnston finishing third tonight. I'm sure he's a pretty happy camper with that for the Hensley Motorsports team. But Tanner, we'll pause here for a second and we'll talk about tonight. Though, what'd you think of tonight's racing?
I always love Richmond racing. It's one of my favorite short track racing to go on the iRacing simulations. And it just produced a lot of great racing here tonight. Good side-by-side racing. There was a lot of patience in the early stages of the race. It did get intense in the second part of the race, as expected. But heck, that's all short-track racing. And not a lot of drivers mad at each other tonight, which is always a good thing. So looking forward to being in the background and watching these guys turn some laps at Talladega next week. It's going to be a whale of a season, especially with that all-star race at Monza, left oval turning. So it's going to be a lot of fun to watch this entire season.
Well, as I was working my way back from Victory Lane to the booth, I run into this bearded guy eating a hot dog, and it's Brian Yazik. What do you know? Brian, fourth place finish for you. I guess I could talk to you. I'll go my best Will Buxton here. Fourth place run for you and a good run for your team tonight.
Absolutely. God, I'm so happy for Paul. I'm ecstatic. I feel like I'm happier for him than like if I won. I mean, it's awesome. Paul's a hell of a guy. God bless it. It's like watching your kid, go off and do something. Because I told him last year, I said, "You come with me onto this team, follow me, and we'll make you a winner." And he got us a win in the Grand National Series at Daytona, and then get him his first Cup win. For him to get his first Cup win, he's the one that stayed out, and took that risk. That's absolutely phenomenal. I'm so stoked for him.
Well, you did a great job tonight. Great job for Loud Pedal Motorsports. So we'll let you get one little shout out in before we get off the air because we got to go.
Yeah, no, it's all good. Would have had third if it would have been one more corner. I could have got the 54. But Loud Pedal Motorsports bringing home 1, 2, and 4. I'll take that. HPP Simulation. Go out there and get yourself some pedals and and buy oil from Adam Littell. So there we go. I got all my plugs in.
Get them all covered. Nice job, Brian. Congratulations, bud.
Hey, thank you.
Now, before I leave, I was just reading on Twitter, because I do have a Twitter account, that apparently there's going to be some NASCAR schedule changes, but you might want to go check that out if you guys get a chance on the stream. Anyways, Tanner, appreciate your time, buddy. I know, sit back, enjoy the racing we got the next couple weeks, and next time one of us are gone, we'll bring you back, buddy.
Sounds great. Great working with you guys up here in the booth, both you and Amjad. And it's awesome watching these guys race in turn laps every single week. It's phenomenal cup racing.
Agreed. Special thanks to the Premier Racing League for putting on the Patriot Fire Cup Series. Also thanks to the software and hardware that we use for our broadcast that you see listed on our screen right now. Also thanks to our musical contributors, Eric Ekholm, Casey Lalonde, whose music you can find on the websites listed. For more info about future races, you can go to the list on the screen or go to globalsimracingchannel.com where you can check out the past broadcasts or check in on our current schedule of events. You also check us out on Twitter at GSR Channel, Facebook.com/Global Sim Racing Channel. And of course, the next time we'll be on the air for the Premier Racing League Patriot Fire Cup Series Thursday, round 14 of the season, second race of the summer segment as we hit the high banks of Talladega Super Speedway. You see it on the screen right there. We'll see you at 9 o'clock Thursday night. Congrats to our winner, first time winner tonight, Paul Pepper, going to Victory Lane in Richmond as he enjoys himself in Victory Lane. For Dougie Beard, Amjad Yaman, Tanner Sharp, Chris Scala, race clean, race hard, and we'll see you on the track.